Bullies versus the world. 42 people. 42.
I like the sound of that.
Larry. Look what you did, Larry.
Look what you did, Larry. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our haphazard show talking about the wacky and wild world of professional wrestling. I'm PK from the Blvd Bullies, established 2016. And with me, my co-hosts, we have ringside Sean in the house. And we have Bad Take Bry, the one-punch merch guy. And, of course, CZW Hall of Famer, wrestling's hottest ring announcer, juicy hot dog purveyor, the man, the myth, you may say, the legend, my wrestling father, and my friend from years even before that, Larry Legend.
Quite an intro.
Thanks to everybody watching. Go ahead.
Can I just say, can I acai moonsault off of that pad and say, what about your friends? Will they stand their ground? Will they let you down? Yeah.
Shout out to that song.
That boy good. He real good.
We're going to pay some bills. Let's pay some bills and get some things out of the way real quick. Not that anything we do here pays any bills, but any little support that you have for the channel really helps. So really all I want is just hit subscribe. That's all you got to do. But if you want your chat seen, if you have a question for Larry as we go on, a super chat, just saying a super chat is the best way to get that done because it highlights it. We'll play a little song. We got a little bell, a little whistle going. And
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, you got the Shawn Michaels. Yeah, it wasn't easy. So please subscribe. Please do all that. Hit the thumbs up. We appreciate it. Brian, could you show us the giveaway? So basically 99 cents.
No, I can't because Sean has it.
Sean has it.
Well, we don't have the giveaway.
Okay,
now.
we might not have it.
Well, listen. Let me get to it. Brian, please hold up the cards.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's stream is brought to you only by PWJ Cards. PWJ Cards do big things in professional wrestling right now. We're taking the stars of the independent scene and we're putting them on a platform for everyone to see and appreciate through card form. We do base cards, we do auto cards, and sometimes we do blood cards. And guess what, folks? This show today is your chance to get a Joey Janela blood card from PWJ Cards and the Blvd Bullies.
How do you not have it, Sean?
All you got to do, ladies and gents, is get into that super chat there. And the highest super chat amount by the end of the stream today will be going home with a PWJ Joey Janela blood card. You can check us out on pwjcards.com. You can see how the card looks, and we'll take it from there, baby.
Neither of these cards. It's neither of these cards.
Oh, these are prime examples.
Sean doesn't have the one we're giving away.
These are prime examples of the artistry that we put out, the care that we put into our cards, and how much we appreciate the performers that go out there and do what they do for us.
Look, there's a little piece of glass in this one.
There's a piece of glass in there, so you never know what you get.
Glass in there,
Now, this blood is drawn by you personally. That's your job in this company, is the blood drawer.
Yeah. I'm like the old guy from the Lost Boys. Remember that guy? Fang? That's why my dog's name is Fang. Fang, what are you doing, Fang? So, yeah.
All right, so that, basically, if you have a question for Larry, give us a super chat. We'll get right to it. Redirect the conversation in any way you like. And a minimum, you could get that card for like $1. And just, because we lied to you. It's not really a giveaway. It's more of a quote, unquote, give, end quote, away. But anyway, the second highest super chat will receive this. Bone-crunching action, Darren Drozdoff action figure.
It's fucking awesome.
I think he's gonna. So that's what we got for you today. And one more thing, and I hate to be like this, but we did just release a new shirt as well.
Indeed, we did.
We released a new shirt, and it's basically just Stone Cold Steve Austin's bald-ass bloody head screaming right on your whole entire body from WrestleMania 13. So that's great, and it's free shipping.
Blood from a stone.
Blood from a stone. See, when I think of that, Larry, I think of the cover of Austin 316. Or wait, what was the original tape? What was his original?
Uncensored?
Was it? No, Uncensored was the second one.
The original tape was Austin 316.
That
Wasn't
was
it just like a? Oh no, that's because Stone Cold said so. I can't remember the first.
Oh,
one.
that's what it is. It's because Stone Cold said so. That's the
just
name of the tape.
It's just the skull. It's like the animated skull.
Yes. I have it. I have it somewhere around me right now, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Love that.
that's basically what we're
Awesome
doing.
merch out, guys. Awesome merch.
So thanks so much. Follow on all the things. Now that that's out of the way, a little bit of news this weekend in the wrestling world.
A lot of news.
There's been some news. And Larry, it's surrounding you. You are the sun, and the neckbeards are different sized planets orbiting around you. And you were already on the show. This wasn't a big conspiracy to get an exclusive interview. You've had a residency here for a few weeks. Hey, thanks for the subscription. Keep them coming. Thank you so much. We've had you here for a few weeks, and it's been a delight. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure.
An official bully, Larry became.
And, you've been kayfabing us, keeping it kayfabe. And all of a sudden, on Saturday, I have like 50 Twitter notifications. Brian's yelling at the struggles on Twitter. All this crazy stuff is happening. Brian, the most passionate of ICW fans.
No one calls my boy a sellout.
So anyway, let's back it up, though. I don't want to get right into it. I want to tease. I want to just dip our toes in. Because, 53 viewers, that's a good thing for the Bullies.
53, I love it.
And that's
Maybe
a good
we'll
thing for Larry Legend,
We might be able to pull in more than a live shill tonight.
Yeah, maybe. So I realized that we've been friends for over 10 years, and I've never actually interviewed you. We've interviewed Cody Rhodes, Adam Cole, Jimmy Lloyd, of course, but never Larry. So I have a few questions I want to ask you before we get into the nitty-gritty. I'm going to do my best Ariel Helwani impersonation.
Love it.
Is that okay with
you?
I
will not Tony Khan you. Okay,
okay, thank you. So I don't think that we've ever spoken about when you got into the business, how you broke into the business. I know it was with the same company I did, NYWC. Was that true? Is it not? I don't know the whole story.
No. NYWC became my New York-based home fed. It became my New York-based home fed, but my original home fed is MCW Pro, formerly known as Maryland Championship Wrestling, right down here in Baltimore Metro. And the story is I dropped out of college and I had a lot of free time on my hands. And they ran an ad during Raw saying, have you ever wanted to step out of the ring or step out of the crowd and get into the ring? Come down to Bone Breakers Pro Wrestling Training Academy, 4707 Benson Avenue, da-da-da-da. I said, you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm not going back to New York to go to school, at least for a year. Let me go see what these guys are all about. And they basically told me, if I wanted to learn the ins and outs of the business, I had to at least pay the tuition of a referee/manager. See, there were tiers of the tuition for this academy.
So you went in just wanting to learn. You didn't even say, let me be a ref. Did you say, I want to be an MC? Or was it just...
I said specifically, you guys ran a commercial during Raw. And now I'm not sure if that commercial was seen nationwide, but I saw it. And I want to know how you, a little indie, a little like company I never heard of, are running commercials on Raw. Like, how did you do that? Yeah. And they were like, well, we can put you on. We can teach you some things, but it's going to cost you. And I pretty much signed up to be a referee and paid them monthly tuition to essentially be an administrative assistant.
Oh, wait, hold on, Larry. I'm sorry. I've tied the alert for Super Chats with the AOL dial-up song.
Yeah.
So if you're talking and somebody donates a Super Chat, it just screeches very loudly in your ear. Probably lose 10, 12 viewers just off that alone. Sorry to have interrupted your story.
But we already got one. Already got a Super Chat.
Already got a Super Chat. And it was just a compliment. So
nice.
Believe this is the greatest show. Shout out Pajama Dan, OG Bully fan.
Oh boy,
appreciate
Daniel.
you. Thank you, man.
Daniel.
Blood Card and Darren Draws up for bid tonight. That's the Blvd Bullies give away.
We should call it a donate away.
Donate away. Your
donate
money.
Away.
So what year was this that you walked into this MCW Bone Breakers? It's not really a great name for a wrestling school, you know.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. They're breaking bones.
It's like a pretzel.
This was right after 9/11. This was right after the World Trade Center fell and the Pentagon and all of the stuff. You know, I kind of had a jolt of like, oh man, I could die any day now. You know, I was a New Yorker. Less than a year before that happened. You know, I was at university and I was like, you know, I don't want to just die one day and not have done all the things that I wanted to do.
Facts.
Yeah. So my first show that I was working was October the 30th, 2001.
Ooh.
Damn, I was 11
So you
years
didn't wait
old.
long after 9/11.
Well, I mean, I went down there and I guess I made a really good impression. Like they kind of could tell that I wasn't just some geek off the streets that wanted to hang around Jerry Lawler and sniff his fucking underwear when he wasn't looking, you know?
Didn't WWE run an event after 9/11 pretty soon too? They did like a SmackDown right after 9/11.
The same week.
It was the same week, right? They didn't wait for shit.
Yeah, so the MCW show that was my first show working was a firefighters benefit show. Donating money to all the firefighters, you know, that lost their lives in 9/11, you know? Right. So that was the first show that I ever worked, October 30th, 2001. But I wasn't the announcer. I basically was just running around, you know, doing shit, just everything, you know? So that was when I started.
So when did you, October 2001, right? October 2001.
Yeah, 2001, right? October 30th, the day before Halloween.
So, wow. That's a long time ago, Larry.
Yeah.
When did you, I'm sorry.
You were reffing. I'm sorry, yeah, you were reffing. So how long did you ref for?
So I wasn't reffing. I was paying the tuition for a ref.
And you were an assistant. You were like an administrative assistant.
Yes, but with that,
Brian, why did you say administrative assistant?
Because that's what I was.
You fucking said, motherfucker.
That's what I was. Yeah, I was. I was an admin assistant, and what would happen was that on the days that the guys came down to train, I was very quickly given keys to the school. So I would like open the school up, check the voicemail, any new students that emailed and stuff that wanted to maybe come take a tour. I would email them back. I would let the bosses know, oh, this bill needs to be collected on. So I was like an admin assistant.
You were like an administrative assistant.
Exactly. I was an admin assistant.
That's what that sounds like.
And I also, to pay my dues, I had to like go out with the street teams and put the flyers up. You know, go down to the Baltimore Arena when Raw was letting out and just hold the door, hand out flyers, go all the way through the garage and put flyers on cars in the cold. And, you know, so yeah, that was back then. And what was my date? By December 4th, 2002, I was an announcer.
So it's like a year and like a couple months.
Yeah, I was an announcer by December 4th, 2002.
And you haven't looked back ever since.
Never looked back.
That's fucking insane. That's
and
awesome.
It's been great.
Were you Larry Legend from the get?
No, my name originally was Larry Kennedy Phillips.
Nice.
And your ring announcer, Larry Kennedy Phillips.
Exactly.
Boo.
Boo. Well, no, I was a heel.
You were the heel ring announcer.
You don't hear the name?
Oh God, yeah. I shit on the fans. I would, you know, very like, you know, just like I would love to say that it's great to be in front of all of you food stamping, independence card swiping, you know, like no good, you know, Dundalk pieces of trailer park trash.
Fuck yeah.
But I'm not, you know, like that type of thing, you know.
That sounds great. And then I first met you at CZ. Well, I actually first saw you on CZW DVDs that I was purchasing. And then I went to a show and saw you, and me and my friends had fallen in love with you. Like, man, this ring announcer's great. Yeah. So we just went there and we're like,
easy to fall in love with Larry.
We were just doing that for a while. CZW was great. Tournament of Death, great times.
Is CZW post or pre Ring of Honor?
It is pre-Ring of Honor and then post-Ring of Honor.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but CZW, I landed there because, you know, for the first, I don't know, 2 years or 3 years that I announced, I never knew of anything but MCW. And it wasn't until I met the Jake the Snake of Getting Baked Ruckus that, and the first time that I did his intro and I nailed it, that he was like, oh man, I got to take you to CZW. And I was like,
awesome.
I don't even know what that is, but I'll come, you know, and now I'm in the Hall of Fame.
Look at that.
CZW Hall of Famer Larry Legend. Unfortunately, you know, Joe Gacy shite on your parade, but you know we won't get into that.
Well, actually, Pat, I feel like that was before, and I feel like that doing that is what actually got me in the Hall of Fame.
You took the board. And they were like, fuck it. Well, let's get this guy a plaque.
I took it. I barebacked. I took it bareback.
Yeah, he ripped your shirt off.
Put his foot on my neck and ripped my shirt off.
What a son of a bitch.
Good shit.
and look where he is.
Yeah.
Yo, so everybody, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Blvd Bullies. Shout out everybody. PWJ Cards sponsoring the show. Giving away the blood card. Highest bid, $2.
Yes,
you know, last night or over the weekend. You know, like I said, over the weekend, all this shit was going down. And I was oblivious. I was sitting there watching this Price is Right documentary. And it's about this guy. It's on Netflix, right? It's about this guy. It's actually kind of parallel to certain elements of wrestling. He just one day was a kid and he saw Price is Right? And he realized that sometimes they repeat products. So he just decided to study all of the products that they give away on Price is Right. Dedicated his entire life to like spreadsheets and memorizing them. Went to the Price is Right 30 times. And he used to go and not get picked and like know the exact prices. So he's won multiple people thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's insane.
And he was talking about the one time that like he gave a Valentine Day card to like one of the girls. And it was such a thrill for him. Made me think about pro wrestling. Anyway,
I've heard of this doc.
This is on. So this is on. I can watch this on Netflix.
Yes, Brian. I watched it on your stolen Netflix. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it got me thinking, and this was before all the shit went down. So once again, we're just dipping our toes into the water. We're doing a classic Ariel Helwani interview.
Yeah, the hard hits.
If anybody in this chat right now watching this video does not know, Larry Legend was on Price is Right, and Larry Legend fucking won Price is Right.
It's fucking crazy.
And I just realized that I need you to tell me that story, and I need you to tell all these people that story.
Come on down, Larry.
Come on down.
Yeah. I would be delighted to, and I just want to say first and foremost that trip to LA was a birthday gift from my mom. If you guys don't know, my mom is my backbone. A lot of the qualities that people love about me, I learned by watching her as I was growing up. No dad, just my mom, and she modeled the way to be. So I wanted to do something for her. She had never been to LA. I had never been to LA at the time. So I was working for a big box retail company that offered stock options, and I just cashed them all out. I sold all my stock. And I was able to afford, plane tickets, car, and hotel for like a 3-day, 4-night LA excursion.
Dope.
If you will.
Extravaganza, if you will. Yeah. Read my mind.
But after buying all that stuff, I had no money. So I'm kind of like, this is a bummer. And one of my coworkers told me, hey, you can go on the Price is Right for free. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, like they want people to go on it. So
wait a second. You went to the Price is Right because you were broke?
No. I went to
that was like a plan to make money. You went there to make money?
I needed something to do for my mom besides just stay in the hotel.
Right, okay.
The whole trip is for my mom. But like I needed a nice inexpensive thing to do that wasn't Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles so that she would be like, oh, and we did this. Yeah. So my coworker told me that, and I'm like, oh shit, that's done. That's probably going to be a full day taping. You know, that shit's going to take long, and she's never going to forget it.
Great
Little
idea.
did I know.
Great
Little
gift.
did I know.
Hot
Yeah.
tip.
I'm sorry. Do they tape more than one in
Yes.
like they tape like a bunch of them?
Yes, they tape a morning and an afternoon set of tapings.
Yeah, so that's like a fucking half a day activity.
Hell yeah.
So
Well, it's
yeah,
like what I sent Pat today about Bobby Flay.
I didn't read the Bobby Flay thing.
Beat Bobby Flay.
What, it's like you got to
Yeah.
eat his like food. You sit in the crowd and clap and eat his food, and you get paid
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Like $800
Oh,
for
right.
the whole day.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's insane.
Yeah. And like bunch of
Oh no,
10
what's happening? What's happening?
nothing.
Oh, we're back. We're back. We're back. Everything's back. Everything's back. Everything's
It's like
back.
10 whole days that you can sign
that was
up
scary.
For. It's like 800 a day. It's awesome. So what'd you win on the prices?
Bobby Flay's people just like got into my computer or something.
Yeah, you can't say nothing about Bobby Flay.
Hey, thanks
Yeah.
for that subscription. So yeah,
So
tell us
long
about
day, the computer.
did you go to the morning, afternoon? Did you like wait in line for 3 hours with crazy Price is Right people?
So first of all, my mom had no idea. My mom had no idea why we were getting up that early in the morning, and I went to the morning one, and she had no idea why I was dropping her off at the end of this very long line of people waiting to get into the CBS studios, because this was a surprise.
Dude, that's so exciting.
Right. By the time I parked the car and I caught up with her, I'm like, "Do you know what we're doing?" And she's like, "We're going to see The Price is Right." Because, you know, people had the signs and the,
right.
you know, fuckery. So she caught on.
Right.
And yeah, I was amongst all those crazy people waiting for hours to get in there.
An experience.
And we finally got in there after being like vetted by some producers.
Well, you must have charmed and wowed the producers because that's how they pick.
We both did. Okay.
So
We both
mom
did.
being there like
It was fun.
enhanced you.
Well, she wasn't trying.
Right.
She was telling the truth.
She was just being
Right.
her charming self.
This is, they said to my mom specifically, "Hi, how are you? What brings you to The Price is Right?" Her exact first words were, "Well, this is my son, Larry." And like, I'm like shaking my head like, they asked you. They didn't ask you who I was. They asked you about you and what brings you here. But of course, mom putting me over.
Selfless.
This is my son, Larry. He brought me out here for my birthday. And they're like looking at me and automatically right there, son, bringing his mom out here for a birthday.
Beautiful thing.
Then they interview me. And I mentioned to them that I work part-time retail and I moonlight as a pro wrestling ring announcer.
You did say
Oh.
you said Moonlight literally on stage with with Drew Carey.
Dude, I said it to the producer.
Moonlight.
those
It's the
words.
word. It's the word moonlight that
I
got them.
moonlight.
You seduced them with your words.
You seduced
Oh
them.
yeah. Oh, look, I'm all about that Bob Barker, that smooth talking,
Hell yeah.
Yo, can I
That
just
Jim-
interrupt your story for a second and tell you
Go
that
for
Bob Barker's parts in this documentary, he looks like a rotting corpse. However,
I'm sure.
He's gotta be like 87 years old.
Dude,
102.
Kevin Gill's 87. Bob Barker's
Right.
got to be 203.
Oh, be nice. He's about the same age as Joe Biden.
So anyway, Bob
Joe Biden's
Barker
old.
looks like absolute death, dude. But he just like the way he talks about like his life. He's like, yeah, my job was to host The Price is Right, and he's like Ric Flair. He's just happy. He's just in a good mood
Yeah.
that he's still alive and he got to bang 1,000.
Well,
Price
that's
is
what
Right.
it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what that, I mean.
Wait,
Yeah.
Can we shout out Josh Alba for a $4.99? He just beat
Yeah, Josh.
You know,
My
I
friend
was waiting
Daniel.
for the very annoying sound to come on. It never did. But you know what? I'm glad. Maybe we're glitching out a little bit, but I'm glad because that sound is very annoying.
yeah.
What an awful sound. Love you, Larry, says
What an
Josh
awful
Alba.
sound.
And
I love you back, Josh.
cheap plug,
See you in LA.
subscribe to Monday Nitro Party. So
I have
there
been a
you go.
guest. I have been a guest.
The price is wrong, bitch. All right, so
How
where
have, you,
were we?
how,
at
have you,
this-
how have you seen that, but you haven't seen Beverly Hills Cop?
Who, me?
That's what I,
Are you
yeah,
talking to me, Brian?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know. Just pass me by. The window for Beverly Hills Cop is closed now.
Oh, dude, Beverly Hills Cop. I was raised on that movie.
I know this.
Golden Child.
Any child that had a good childhood saw that movie.
Yeah.
You know the song?
Yeah, I know the
Axel
song.
Foley.
Right.
Yo, so you charmed them, you seduced them.
Yes. Well, and my mom. That's what I'm saying, guys. My mom is as genuine as I am, and she was just being herself. And I was right next to her, like, that is not what they asked you. Like, I'm like shaking my head, like, they said, what brings you out here? But she did say, this is my son Larry. He brought me out here for my birthday. And I'm just so excited, you know. And then they go through a line of questioning. And then they interviewed me, and I said, and I moonlight as a pro wrestling ring announcer. And then we went into the big studio, and they were like playing like Michael Jackson and just like come, say goodbye, baby, do that conga, like, and everybody's like, oh yeah, we're just dancing and having a good time. And then the producers, they like the same ones who interviewed you, they come out on the stage, and they stand over on this end, and then the one producer tells the other producer something, and he jots some stuff down, and then they come and they stand in the center. And that's where my mom and I were sitting in the center. And my mom says that like she felt like that they stood there for way longer than anywhere else that they were in looking at things.
She knew. Mom knew.
And I'm like, did they did? And she's like, yeah. And when she said that and they were going to look at someone else, I said, okay, well, if I get up there, I am just going to look at you, because I know you watch this show like every day. Like everything that I have to bid on, you just make big numbers in the air, and I'm going to say what you say. And she's like, all right.
Now, why big numbers and not flashed fingers? Why big numbers and not fingers? I feel like fingers would be a more...
because, Pat, everybody, if the audience notices you looking at them, everybody flips out and tries to tell you what.
Right. You were locked in on mom.
Yes. And I said, just do numbers. Just do numbers.
Seems
I will
confusing.
read the numbers.
Okay.
Well, first prize that I had to bid on was a 52-inch TV. My mom did 1500. I said 1500. I was up on the stage.
No, wait a second. Back it up here. I want to go back to the come on down moment.
Oh, okay. So,
you know what I mean? That's like the iconic.
I got you. So my mom's like, whatever, she's gonna do that. And I said to her, hold on. I said to her, also, if I go all the way, like if I go all the way to the end, I'm like, what is the average that big shit usually costs? And she watches it every day. She still does. And she said it'll be anywhere between $27,000 and $31,000. And I was like, okay. We're sitting there. George Gray, the announcer, comes out, says some preliminary stuff. Everybody cheers and shouts for him. I'm like, I can relate to that. I'm the announcer, and everyone's happy. Then Drew comes out.
Larry, we're seeing in the chat that you would actually make... The chat is overwhelmingly... 65 viewers. Thank you so much. Subscribe, by the way. The chat is overwhelmingly recommending you to replace Drew Carey immediately. There's a groundswell of activity right here on this video for you to immediately replace Drew Carey as the host of The Price is Right. I just want to let you know that as you continue your story.
I back that.
Tweet Drew from TV. Tell him Larry, who was on The Price is Right 10 years ago or however long it was.
Then maybe you guys have a match. Figure you have a match, manager's match to figure out.
Drew's actually been in the ring before.
Drew is also a Hall of Famer like myself.
Right. He came out during the Royal Rumble, right? He was a Royal Rumble contender.
And he jumped over the top rope once Kane came out.
So bring me back to this. And by the way, if you're watching for drama, don't worry. We're going to reward you with
we're going to get there.
A showcase showdown of drama. But, we want to talk about Price is Right. So, you're sitting there and, how many people are called? Are you like, man, I feel like this is going to happen? Or are you like, 4 people there's only 3 left and they're probably not going to call on us. Like, tell me what it's like over there in the crowd, in the audience.
Well, Patrick, they called the first name and it was a young lady. And then they called the second name. And I believe it was a gentleman. And that 3 is a magic number. So the third name that they called when they were filling up contestants row, this is before Drew came out. I actually got the story wrong. George Troy came out first. Cheer, cheer, cheer. Show starts. We're all animated. Third name called Larry Mercer, come on down.
Boo, 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 boo.
Well, that's not the music for this part. At this part, it's the They do that. They do that for when. They do that for when Drew comes out. For this part, it's like the yeah. So
Like Street Fighter, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
I'm number 3. I'm number 3.
Right.
And then 4, 5, and then Drew comes out. And we're all just clapping.
Oh, so you're in the original, you're in the OG Start the Show original 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, dude, I was imagining you coming down to replace a motherfucker.
No, dude, look.
You were top 5. You were top 5 producers. They're like, yo, we're going to give this guy's mom a thrill.
Patrick,
These motherfuckers are from Baltimore.
I don't want to remind you that I am Larry Legend. So, like, I'm not going to just go on The Price is Right. I'm not just going to get on The Price is Right, but I'm going to be the 3rd person that they put up there because they want me on TV for longer than anybody.
Dead center.
Number 3 with a bullet.
Tuxedo t-shirt.
Yeah. And I don't want to wait any longer. so I get up that bitch, and the first prize is 2 Nintendo DSs with 6 games. 3 DSs. 3 DSs. And I said, you know what? My mom doesn't know shit about this shit. I'm going to do it. And I tried to do it myself, and I underbid. And the girl gets up. Her first prize is fucking a car. She fails. And I'm like, God damn it, Larry. You said you're going to turn around and look at Wave. My mom's name is Waverly. You said you're going to turn around and look at her. Second prize, 51-inch TV. I look at her, my mom. I'm like,
1,500.
I'm like, she's like,
Ride the wave.
I bid, and I'm up there. And that part, once I get up there the first time, that's the part that's on YouTube.
Right.
That's so stressful.
Which is iconic. You were so cool, calm, and collected, my friend.
Well, I said on one of the first interviews where they were like, how were you not flipping out? And I was like, well, like, I understand TV, and I understand the way to act on any kind of show. So, like, I know the way people act on The Price is Right. Like, I know what they want.
Right.
So I gave them what they want. And the first thing Drew brought up was like, what do you do for a living? So that I could say,
hell yeah, dude.
Well,
this was
right.
iconic, dude.
Yeah. And I was wearing my not Tournament of Death, but one of those outfits for an outdoor CZW show.
Can I tell this story? Can I tell what we're alluding to? Can I tell the story? It's so close to my heart.
Please.
You say to Drew what you do for a living exactly the same way that you said that you told the producer. Well,
Yep.
I work at a day job and I moonlight as a pro wrestling ring announcer, right? And you know, and everyone's like, wow, that's so cool. This cool guy with the glasses and the shorts and the tuxedo t-shirt. The wrestling helped you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they were like, oh, Drew goes, could you give us a taste? And then Larry, this is masterful here. This is genius. You go, well, I don't want to upset, you know, whoever the fuck the guy is. Come on down.
I said I'll only do it with George's permission.
With George's permission. Ring announcer to ring announcer, dude.
Wow.
What
Well, dude,
a genius.
I acknowledge the pop. Look, I grew up on Rod Roddy. The announcer that I grew up on when my grandma and I used to watch it was called Rod Roddy. He died of lung cancer as I light up another Newport. You know, but I didn't know George Gray. But when he came out on the stage, like, everyone popped huge. So I'm like, oh, this guy must be a big fucking deal. So I treated him as such.
Facts.
Yeah, I think that's what got you over.
The boy was over.
The boy was over. Brief intermission.
Yeah,
Brian. Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Larry. Go ahead.
No. You.
Larry,
You're
show
the boss, applesauce.
Brian. Show the blood card, please. Show the blood cards.
Show those blood cards. And listen, and only, excuse me, Pat, I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead, please. Take over.
And also, those blood cards aren't the only things that PWJ got cooking right now. We just did a collab with Nick Gage and Game Changer Wrestling.
Wow.
Yeah. Those pre-orders are up right now. You can find those on pwjcards.com. We'll be getting them signed in LA from the man himself. So if you want to get down with the movement, now's the time.
Do you want to know how big that is? That's so big that the last time a company announced a collaboration with Nick Gage, the next day they posted that it wasn't happening.
Sick.
That's how big that is.
MDK.
MDK.
Well, Larry, now you jinxed it because it didn't happen yet.
Right.
All right, I'm sorry.
They're all pre-orders.
You
guys better not spend that money. Don't spend that money. By God, don't spend that money. It's just like with our brand new all over print Stone Cold t-shirt. They've been selling like hotcakes. But we did it just to rush on 316 with no test.
Oh, yeah. You're brilliant. I didn't even pick up on that.
Free shipping, 316. We're on the road to WrestleMania, Larry. And anyway, we didn't even do a test. We just kind of rushed it. So all those orders, I'm not spending that money, dude. Like, what if it comes out like the Homer Simpson Marge t-shirt?
Oh, yeah.
You know, like,
is there a return policy?
Oh, there's got to be.
Yeah, they email me until I fucking die, until I cough up. So anyway, just to review real quick, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. We have not yet dove headfirst into the deep end of the pool, but we're
getting there.
We're in the middle area of the pool. But just to review, the super chat precedent is $5.99 to get the Janela blood card. And then if you want
because Sean doesn't have the card
to come in, if you want to come in second place and get this used, literally, I use this. You see, the cool thing is Darren's finishing move was the sit-out power bomb, I believe. And you see the way the legs on this fig are, really could recreate squish the arms together and really create the on it. So I actually used this as a kid, probably too old to play with figs a year ago. And, because I like to live in a world where Darren Drozdoff still wrestles. So if you want this fig, all you have to do is come in second place on the Super Chat. Quote, give, end quote, away this evening.
Donate away.
Donate away your money to the Blvd Bullies.
I like the sound of that.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Cheers. I will tell you how it was used, And then these kind with these arms, you could hit him with the chair. Yeah.
Now the question is, does he still have the little ponytail on top of his head?
No, actually.
It's gone.
It's gone. The ponytail's gone, dude.
I know.
See, dude, you're bugging, dude, because because I didn't even remember. I don't even remember a ponytail, dude.
Jeff Jarrett shaved his head, didn't he?
I don't even remember what apartment I live in.
Nah,
You've been here a million times.
So Larry,
I remembered today, by the way.
The ponytail's a small little rubber piece that hangs off the head, and it has like a red rubber band holding it.
Wow, so that makes it even more. Yours is flawed, Pat. Essentially.
Yes. Whatever, guys.
You were on Pawn Stars.
Side note.
If you were on Pawn Stars and the toy guy came to look at it, he would fucking
shit all over you.
Wait, but listen to this.
Like $20.
The bone crunching action still works. Hold on.
Yeah, it works.
I hear it.
Yeah, bone crunching action still confirmed. A life
fucking super chat.
$5.01. Oh my God.
And neuter your pets.
Please.
Please spay and neuter.
I saw a pit bull walking up the street, just looking around aimlessly as cars were trying to get through, midday traffic in Baltimore, and my heart went out to the dog.
That's the worst shit in the world.
Yo,
and
shout out
some irresponsible person.
That's what it all. It's always a fucking human's fault when you see it.
Oh, hold on, we got the sound. The sound's back. The sound is back. We did it.
Did the sound go away?
Shout out. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you. Also, shout out, dear friend, guy with the best glasses ever, Mike Hellman. But Larry, you know Mike Hellman.
I know Mike. Oh, yes, of course I know Mike.
Mike Hellman, much like Bald Steve, who joins us at the last Tuesday of every month on our studio show. Bald Steve was also there the night that Draws got paralyzed. So, you guys should meet up for a cup of coffee at some point.
SmackDown in Nassau Coliseum, right?
Puke. Maybe just puke together. We tried to big 666, but we can't.
Do 999.
Yeah, try 999.
Wow.
First of all, shout out Nine Dead because Nine Dead is a fucking dope.
Like that,
I
Larry?
mean, I don't know.
I love that.
Nine Dead is a dope ass band.
Brian, stop
Everybody
talking
in
about
this
Jonathan
goddamn
Staufman's band.
There's 67 people in this room, and they're commenting, and I like that band.
Oh, great. Everybody, just so
Let
you
Brian
know.
have his take. Let the boy have his take.
All right, listen. I think everyone's here to hear Larry. So I think let's continue.
Yeah, let's get back.
on.
Yeah, let's
get
get
back
back to
into
the Price is Right story though. I don't want to go into the deep end yet. You know,
All right.
we're
So,
milking this foreplay for the first hour, and then second hour we'll get into it. You know,
as long as we stay on target.
let's just stay on target, maybe possibly.
We'll stay on target. So I get up there. I do the little deal where I announce and I forget George Gray's name, and then my game was like 4 different prizes, and I had to pick 3 of them. Again, that number 3 that equaled like $5,000. And I looked at my mom. Well, actually, I used my own intuition because one was a Mac. It was an iMac. So I'm like, that's got to be like $2,100 right there. And then there was a washer dryer, and I'm like, well, that's two big ass things. That's got to be like close to $2,000. And then the last thing that I had to choose from was an exercise bike, a recumbent exercise bike, or some Yves Saint Laurent accessories.
Oh, you go.
Not Saint Laurent, Yves Saint Laurent. So it's that old shit.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, God, I know it's the Yves Saint Laurent, but should I say that? And I looked at my mom, and she was pointing. She was like, go with that shit over there, Larry. And I did.
The Mac and the washer.
The Mac, the washer, and the Yves Saint Laurent all got me up to $5,000.
Fire.
That's fucking fire.
Yeah, and that's on YouTube. Just type in Larry Legend on The Price is Right. You can see me do that one. But my mom helped me with that. The only thing my mom didn't help me with was spinning the wheel.
I was gonna ask.
I want to know about this because
That's the most stressful part. You gotta watch.
like, where do you go? Do you go to like a contestant's chamber after you win?
And so right adjacent to contestants row, there's also like a number of chairs for the contestants that are going to spin the wheel.
Okay.
So everybody who goes up on stage, win or lose, you're gonna get to spin. You're gonna go over to that chair and wait for your turn to spin the wheel. At which point, during the commercial, Drew Carey came over and started talking to me more about wrestling announcing, and like he does like kind of a little, he does like a little like mini stand up.
Like Jerry
Do
Springer.
you know if this is pre or post when he's in wrestling?
This is post.
He's already been in. He's done the Royal Rumble.
Right. Yeah, he's done the Royal Rumble.
He's probably so hype on you.
Oh God, yeah. And also he probably was stoned.
Mm.
Because I hear he's a huge advocate.
Hell yeah.
But I got up on there for the spinning of the wheel, and since I won out of my 3 people that were on stage, I got to spin last.
Mm.
So first person goes up, they overspin. Second person stays at like 65.
65 is pretty good.
My first spin,
65.
I spun 70.
Oh, boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo.
So then I was on to the showdown. And of course, like I told you, I said to my mom, if I go all the way, what's the average?
Oh my God, this is incredible.
So my mom was born on August 30th. So since she told me it's anywhere between 27 and 31, I just picked 27, 830.
Damn.
I just picked those numbers. 27
and you won.
and my mom. And I won.
What did the other person do? Did they go over, or were you just closer than them?
They went over. It was a Polynesian young lady by the name of Emmeline. She went over, and actually, I was like $39 away from winning her showcase too.
Right, because if it's within a certain parameter, you get both.
Right. I was 30. When I got back to work, my coworkers were like, they were all very brainy kids. They were like, do you realize that you were like $39 away from like winning her prize too? And I'm like, I was? They were like, yeah. They were like, we like added it up right away, and like,
that's
we were
awesome.
that close. Yeah. So.
And then what did you win? What did you win in the Showcase Showdown? So you basically drove home with a truck full of like an old man recliner, washer and dryer, large screen TV, boat hitched to the back, a trip to Bermuda.
Got the accessories. You got the accessories.
You don't get anything.
Like weights.
You don't leave with anything. They make arrangements to ship it wherever you want it.
That makes sense.
And you pay for the shipping.
People are traveling all fucking.
No, you don't pay anything.
Oh, okay.
All you pay is your taxes at the end of the year.
So what did you win? Did you win a trip, a car, or like the Showcase Showdown?
Well, Pat, if you'll let me talk.
Whatever, dude.
So for the Showcase Showdown, I won a fireplace insert.
Okay.
I won
it's like a portable fireplace?
Yeah, like that you can like set up in this room and
it's like
light a fire.
Is it
No, it's
so it's
wood.
like a fire pit? It's like a fire pit?
No, dude. It is a fireplace insert. Okay, it is called a fireplace insert.
Okay, so you have to have a fireplace to insert it.
You put it in front of an old fireplace that is no longer in use.
Gotcha.
And it's like a fireplace.
It's just a
It's like
picture.
set it and forget it.
Just
But
a poster.
you need a fireplace in order to have that.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes, Brian.
So I
You're
couldn't
not gonna have
count. I
smoke
couldn't
in your
count.
house.
Right. Yeah, the smoke's got to get out.
You can't just put it in your house.
No.
So I won a fireplace insert. I won a trip to Cabo San Lucas.
Wow.
And I won a boat.
What?
Yo, hell yeah, dude.
Those were the three.
All right, I have two questions. I have two questions.
Yes.
Did you take the trip with your mom?
My mom did not want to fly again 5 hours.
Right.
Because you've got to fly out of LA.
True. So, but you offered.
Okay?
You offered.
Of course.
Right.
Of course.
So did you go?
Yes.
Right.
Of course I went. I went with my best friend, Casey Brown, who picked my mom and I up from the airport when we landed for this whole trip. He picked us up and took us to our hotel or to our rental car.
Right.
And to thank him for that, I was like, bro, you're going with me.
That's fucking amazing.
That's dope.
All right, second question. Do you still have the boat?
No, I sold the boat.
Where is the boat now? The SS Larry.
Larry.
It's funny. It's funny because, and this is actually kind of tragic, but I once watched this interview with Danny Havoc, and on this interview, he was saying that a dream life for him would be just having a boat and just being able to sail wherever he wanted to, going out and lying on his boat, having a dog and just having a boat.
Wow.
And I saw this interview after he died. But I remember thinking, had I seen that interview, maybe I would have kept the boat.
To give to it.
Well, no.
Or just to have the boat and lay on the boat.
To like invite him on my boat.
Now, is this the inspiration behind Caribbean Larry?
Where does Caribbean Larry fit into all of this?
Yes. I see a boat, St. Luca. This is the birthplace of Caribbean Larry.
Well, I don't know. My bookings increased like tenfold after this. So,
and you could just like sail up and down the coast, go to the bookings.
If I wouldn't have had to pay $11,000 in taxes that year, sure.
Oh, shiza.
Yeah.
How much did you sell the boat for?
$10,000.
Woo!
So you basically got the boat to pay the taxes on it.
Just a wash.
No, he sold the boat, didn't have to pay the taxes.
Well, he had to.
No.
Extra.
I sold the boat. I had $10,000 in my account for like one day, and then I called Uncle Sam, and I was like, "Here's my tax money."
It sucked it out.
Yeah, dude, it sucked.
It was like, "I'll take this. You take that. See you later. I appreciate it."
There you go. Yeah, and all the prizes, the TV, the iMac, the Yves Saint Laurent. I gave all that to my mom.
Oh, what a guy!
Hell yeah, dude! Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Fuck yeah!
Boo 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 boo!
Shout out CBS.
CBS television,
right?
Just quality programming, quality programming.
Just won your trip down to St. Luca, Larry. How do you feel?
I'm like, I can't believe it. Oh, they do that at the end of the show. They stick a camera in your face and they're like, "Tell the people at home how you're feeling." And I was just like, I can't believe it. My mom's here. It's her birthday. I won The Price is Right. I'm going to Cabo San Lucas. I feel great. You know, like that.
I feel great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that was and like I said, I guess what I'm saying about Caribbean Larry is like, because I started getting booked so many places, promoters started wanting to like do other things than just have me be like tuxedo clad Larry Legend.
Yeah.
So that was Eric Tapout, the former promoter of PWS.
Okay.
He created a it's basically a customs called Beach Ball Volleyball Beautiful Babes, or it was called
Hell
Babes,
yeah. That's my
not
favorite
volleyball.
promotion, dude.
Exactly.
I've been following them from the beginning, dude, from day one.
And who was the host?
Yeah, Larry
Caribbean
Legend.
Larry.
Caribbean Larry.
Caribbean Larry. Not Larry Legend. Caribbean Larry.
You know, when all this news went down about everything that was going on and we started promoting the show, we got an elusive retweet from Caribbean Larry. You know, it's hard. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I was
okay.
Like, who's this Larry?
Yeah, like, you know,
Who's
like
the
regular
Caribbean?
Larry will retweet you, you know, but Caribbean Larry coming out from the woodwork? Wow.
Well, Caribbean Larry's not really on tech. He's in the Caribbean, you know. They don't have, you know.
Right, he found
It's
some
like he
Wi-Fi.
made his
or
way
whatever.
to go pick up his mail. He's like, let me jump on the computer. And he jumps on the computer and he got some mail. Larry, what's going on?
No, Sean, he goes by the library.
He goes to
He's
the
only at the library when he sees things.
All right, cool. So
He-
listen,
he
it's
ain't flexing.
You have to check
officially
me email.
it's officially hour 2. Larry, I see you're already starting, but basically
Oh, fuck yeah.
in hour
Hell
2,
yeah.
we always yes, I do have a barbecue lighter. Don't judge me. We always partake in.
I started early.
I
Well,
started
me
early
too.
too.
Me
I
too.
started,
High
Second one.
quality H2O.
Oh no, I dropped it.
and just
I
by the
finished
way,
my-
in case you
Finished
were
my
wondering,
Jam jar. The jam jar is gone.
Me too.
in case you were wondering, please subscribe. Thank you
delicious.
so much, and smoke with us, drink with us if you'd
Yeah.
like.
And
It's a relaxed show. It's
I'm
a
gonna show these one more time. What's the bid at? What's the donation at right now?
I think it's at 501, 599, something like that. And don't forget second place, Darren Drozda.
And remember also
He's
that
gonna-
neither of these cards that you're getting, it's the Joey Janela card
Mm-hmm.
and Sean.
These are very similar. So what Joey's done, instead of Matt Treatmon and John Wayne Murdoch there, Joey Janela will be there, and his thumbprint, his perfectly printed thumb, might I add. He
John
actually,
Wayne Murdoch's thumb looks pretty good right there.
yeah, but wait till you see Joey's. Joey's was like, all right, boop.
What's up with Tremont's thumb? Brian, can you show it again? It looks like a half thumb. Does he have like some kind of injury or something?
I think he used his pinky. I'll be
It
honest.
looked like he used the side of his thumb. And
Oh, he
not
kind of like he tried to roll it like a
looked
like a.
he
like
he was
a
just.
police.
It looked like he went like this and just like put it on the card.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Tremont probably doesn't want his thumbprints getting out there.
Right.
So it's
I mean,
probably his
that's a
pinky.
legal thing. That's a legal
Yeah,
thing. You know?
yeah, he doesn't want
Pinky.
his shit out
John
there.
Wayne
Yeah,
Murdoch
it's
doesn't
pinky.
care. He's a safe boy. He's a safe
Yeah.
boy. If anybody ever needs John Wayne Murdoch's fingerprint for criminal activity, I have it.
Great,
And
Brian. Now nobody's gonna want to.
Thanks so much, Brian. Thank you.
That's
No,
probably
there's no
very rare.
choice, unfortunately.
No likelihood.
Those
No, it's
cards.
just Joey. Just
Yeah.
Joey. Joey is BWJ's way of saying congratulations to the Boulevard Bullies and congratulations to Larry. And it's our contribution to you guys, the fans out there. So your super chat will determine whether or not you get a perfectly packed Joey
Darren
Janela card
Drozda figure.
and a Darren Drozda.
That's
on his
second.
ponytail.
Yeah. Second place.
Bald Steve is in the chat, guys. How
Yo,
you doing?
Bald
Well,
Steve.
Steve!
Hey, and by the way,
Syruper.
Log cabin, maple syrup, making Steve.
this motherfucking, he said, then I've
Oh,
been
Boulevard
following.
Bullies syrup.
Yeah, did you see this, Brian?
Bernie
What now?
Sanders.
Did you see this? Like, Steve is like, spent the last 3 weeks of his life making maple syrup,
Yeah, I saw it.
and
I watched
and then like now we've both been following the journey very, like
Very closely.
liking the
what's
stories,
up.
liking the
Love it.
stories.
Commenting on them.
He's updating. I think for one of the videos outside, he might have put a lavalier on himself. He really cares about this tale of this syrup.
Nice.
And then the last chapter, the most recent of this tale, was that he sent syrup out to only his closest friends.
No, but he did say they
Respect.
inquired about it.
They
They
inquired.
asked him for the. Yeah, you didn't ask for syrup, did you? Did you ask
No,
me
what the
if
fuck
it's
am I gonna do with syrup, dude?
You're gonna fucking eat it because it's delicious.
Or you're gonna put it in your.
You know,
coffee.
let's just assume that Steve is gonna bring it for the studio show. The last Tuesday of every month, we have a special guest, and we have Bald Steve on the ones and twos, and it's a great time. And this time he's probably gonna bring syrup.
I hope he does because
Josh.
Did you see the reviews?
Hey. 18 days till WrestleMania. Josh
That's
with the
crazy.
$9.99. Guess what? You're in line for the Janela Blood card. And you're also second place.
WrestleMania.
Who survived the fight? Pump it up, pump it up, pump it up.
Yes,
survived the fight?
Yo, I know that. Larry.
WrestleMania.
Larry, did you have that CD?
Of course, I had the tape.
Superstars?
The tape.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was one of my first ever compact discs. And it's like,
No, it's a cassette tape over
It's a
this
cassette
motherfucker.
tape.
Bro.
and it's
Flip
never
that
the right
motherfucker
time
over.
to
I got the
say
Native American
goodbye.
blood in my veins and I'll fight in the World Wrestling Federation. I got the Native American blood in my veins and I'll fight.
What about the Bret Hart emo song?
Oh my God.
It's
I
never
think
the
I
right
listened to it
time
One
to
time.
say
One time.
goodbye. To say goodbye.
Dude, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was like, I don't like Bret Hart this way.
Look, okay, I have another interview question for Larry. When did
Let's
you
hear it.
actually become Larry Legend? When did you officially become Larry Legend?
So when I originally came to CZW, I was the personal ring announcer for Blackout, and my name was Big Larry K, BLK, which is the first part of my Twitter. That's what I was called, Big Larry K.
Got it. Is that where that whole thing comes from?
Yeah, well, it's both. It's my original name, Larry Kennedy Phillips, and
Right.
my CW name, Big Larry K.
Tatanka.
Okay.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Yeah. Tatanka. Yeah. Yeah.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Sorry. Continue.
It's all good. And then and then they, I got my 2x4, 2x4. I got the American flag.
American flag.
American flag. Bro.
Yo, dude.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan beats people up. Fuck yeah, bro. Don't get me started. I
Probably
love
the
that
best,
shit.
probably the best. You know,
I
people
played
think
that shit till the tape popped.
they think that like WWE Volume 4
Oh, fuck
is like,
that.
yeah, but it's like, nah, dude, you don't even know about
You don't
superstars.
even
dude.
know.
You don't
You
even
don't
know.
even know. And y'all know, if you don't know, I'm
Buffalo.
a huge Big Boss man, Mark. So to me, that the ending of the album was just like heaven for me.
Yo, I was
Yes.
gonna ask you that actually. That was one of my interview questions. Forget about Brian's. What's your top four? They're talking about the Undertaker's Rushmore. What's your Rushmore? I was trying to think of it before this show, and I definitely knew that Big Boss Man would be one of those four.
Yeah.
And then I
yeah,
thought
so-
like maybe Danny Havoc, because maybe you had a relationship, but besides that, I don't know. So
I mean, I'm gonna tell. Mine is like influencers, like who really
Right.
like got me like I want to do or be a part of this. And number one is Andre the Giant because I thought he was black. I thought Andre the Giant because of his fro and because of the kinkiness of his hair. When I was a kid, I thought he was like half black, And back when I was growing up, you only saw like Coco Beware, Virgil, and
Butch Reed.
And there was always losing.
Andre
They
the
were
Giant is a
losing.
legendary motherfucker.
Bro.
well, that was the
Little
Undertaker's. I just watched. And
Yeah, so
Undertaker,
Andre?
Yeah, Undertaker said Andre, Ric Flair, Stone Cold Hogan, which I think is a pretty solid, logical man's list, honestly.
That's a logical. Yeah,
That's
that,
That is a
Man's
very
man.
logical, very logical list, yeah.
that
but
sounds
yours
like
starts with Big Boss Man, Cobb County, Georgia.
Yeah.
If you ever took a trip down the
Got,
Cobb County,
he got lynched. He got lynched in a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I wish the match was better. I was like had high hopes. I had
This
high
is-
hopes for the match. They didn't do much of anything. They just
probably
like
one of the worst Hell in a Cell matches.
Well, it was like-
Larry,
it was-
I
yeah.
think you said a good word there. High hopes, and I want to continue off of high hopes.
Oh yeah, Sean. I
So,
think I know
what-
where you're at here.
So, high hopes are a feeling that we all get left on, and sometimes we fall from them.
We're
high
going
hopes.
through this.
And I
We're
want to
getting through
ask
this
you,
transition
Larry,
here.
how are you
Here we go.
holding up? How are you feeling?
How you feeling?
Yeah.
I'm feeling great because I've had just an overwhelming amount of people that have been like checking on me, and like I haven't had too many like nosy people like being like, what happened? I've had just most people, besides the packing princess and Danny DeMonto, I've had most people like really like just being like, are you good? Like oh, we know, like we get it, you know. And like also a lot of people, and Brian, I think you touched on this in Twitter, that like think I'm making a lot of money, like
Right.
are like, oh
A
yeah,
sellout.
Okay, wait a second. Hold on.
As far as
Hold
calling
on
the
one
man a
second
sellout.
here. Hold on.
or
Not my
get that
words.
bag, get that bag,
bag,
Larry.
get
You guys-
I haven't been since The Price is Right.
This
That's
is
all I
crazy.
fucking do
This
with
is
the
absolutely
bags,
crazy.
like-
Sean, look at what you've done. Look at what you've done. You're
Sean
very
did what needed to be done.
haphazardly transitioned into
Hey,
all of
hey.
these
Don't give a
things.
fuck.
I was walking us
He
through.
bullied the interview is what he did.
I was
He said, all
walking
right,
us through.
he said, never mind
Step
that shit, Larry.
by
Tell us about
step.
high hope.
Listen, you
Step
jumped
by
into high
step,
hopes.
piece by piece.
I liked the segue. I liked it.
I liked
Listen,
it too.
Speaking of
That-
high
that-
hopes, get out of here.
We talked about The Price is Right for an hour. Now, Larry, give us what we want.
Yes, Larry, give us what we want. And for those of you who don't know, those of you who might be, you know, because I like to believe that 65, 70 viewers are tuning in just because our show is on the upswing, not because they want to hear.
Well, they
about-
want to hear what's going on. Yeah.
Larry, you were also on the show last week and no one gave a shit.
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, we had like 12 people in here at the most, or 11.
I expect
yeah.
to see the same people that are here now next week.
Yeah,
We
because we're going
welcome
to
you
give
back.
because
We
we're gonna-
welcome you
welcome-
back.
we welcome you.
Yeah.
we're going to give you these nuggets right
Jam
now.
jar and joints and all.
As you can see, I wanted to walk around the pool, dip our toes in, because I wanted to explain the legend that is Larry. Because, you know, maybe somebody is just a fan for the last
You're
5
right.
years.
You're smart.
Fair.
You're smart. You're smart.
Maybe they just came into the game like after pandemic. Last 5 years, there's been like an upswell, a groundswell of support for deathmatch wrestling, and I just want people to understand the history of Larry Legend before we get into probably the most seismic shift in companies since Scott Hall showed up on Monday Nitro. Saturday
funny,
night, it's
you
late.
say that, but it's not even like far off.
It's late Saturday night. ICW No Holds Barred, who you are the face of, but, you know, to everybody's knowledge, you were just not in Chattanooga. Hey, no big deal. We're going to get
Taking a
this
break.
other guy. He's taking a break. No big deal. So everybody's like chilling, watching ICW, and then all of a sudden, boom, Rob Black and XPW post a sexy, crisp. Ooh, did you send them that PNG or did they just make that themselves? That's a beautiful photo of you on this flyer that says Larry Legend is going to be at our next show in the Heartland Ballroom in Newark, and he's going to be at every show moving forward. And everybody's watching ICW, scrolling on wrestling Twitter, and it sent cosmic shockwaves throughout the community.
Shattering, earth shattering.
Earth-shattering.
Yo, I've heard. I mean, I saw and I experienced and I felt. And that's why I'm saying, when you ask me how I'm feeling, like I have actually been kind of like on a huge high because the outpouring of love and support for me has been more than like wanting to find out like, oh, those are coming in. A lot of people are saying what's going on. They want to know. But it's
Fair,
more, hey, are you good? Is my friend good? Is this person that has made me laugh, cry, whatever for 20 years? Are you good? And that has been carrying me, as well as just kind of like, hold on, Yoshi, don't you go nowhere. As well as just kind of like, you know, wrapping my head around this whirlwind of what happened that really I had no control over. You know, I just decided to, as we said on the last episode, boycott ICW No Holds Barred going forward, starting with Chattanooga. When I missed that first show, and they had that replacement out there, is when the conversation started.
Right.
So this was not a plan of mine. I said it. You know, Brian, you said, I think I'm going to boycott ICW No Holds Barred. And I said, I think I'm going to be with you after the UK fiasco.
So it's
Right.
Brian's fault, basically.
Well, I mean, Brian, I had made up my mind. I had made up my mind. I had made up my mind like immediately after, once Danny was reaching out to me after, the tour was over.
So you're saying UK fiasco was the breaking point. What do you mean by UK fiasco?
The tour. The UK tour, the February 9th, 10th, and 11th, or 10th, 11th, and 12th, the tour, that the first graphic for which was Larry Legend, announcer for all of the shit.
You had a whole ass shirt.
Yeah, the whole ass shit, and that came out months ago. Yeah, I did note it only came out one time. It wasn't really in the rotation of the UK announcements.
You have a card. There's a trading card, Larry Legend UK trading card that they printed. That ICW printed.
Well, now in this tour they have their advertising mittens, so you can see how hard up they are for whatever. But anyway, well, what happened with the UK? Because you were advertised.
Bags.
You were advertised, and then you were not at the UK, and you're saying that there was walk me through it here.
Yeah, well, a lot of stuff happens in the pro wrestling world, and a lot of the times people kind of like feign that they're too busy, that they're too busy doing something, or, oh, you were too busy and I was too busy. And there was kind of like a subterfuge surrounding, in particular, my travel to the UK and the understanding about it up until the week that we were supposed to leave. And at the time that we realized that there was a miscommunication, I was kind of berated, I was berated and gaslit into thinking that this is all my fault, that I waited too long for this. And there was no kind of like discourse then. It just turned into like a pile-on of like, oh, well, you effed up.
Had you not spoken to Struggles and asked him like?
So wait, what's going on here? Basically, what you're insinuating. I'm sorry, Brian, to just steamroll you, because before your question, I just want to know. What you're saying is that there were flights booked, and you were kind of in a holding pattern, waiting for flights, and then your flight never came, and that's where the problem lies.
Well, actually, Pat, the problem lies in there being no communication about flights. And this is what I mean about the bunch of shows. I was announced for the UK, like I don't remember when that was, maybe fall. I don't know.
When they announced the
whole thing, I was announced as being there. And then there was pretty much radio silence at every show and in between the shows about like flights. Like, how are we getting there? Like, okay, yeah, we're announced, but are those people getting half of the flight and you taking care of the other half of the flight? There was no communication about this. However, because I'm not dumb, I was able to see around me like, like people were like in passing saying things about travel and like how this was done and, but no one was talking to me about it. It was all just like things that I was observing.
Right.
So I was just waiting. To be talked to about my travel. And I spoke to Dan in front of the Struggles. And I said specifically to him that I would prefer to fly directly into Leeds as opposed to flying into London, because I had found out that a number of people were flying into London.
I remember
and then they were going to have to take a 6-hour bus ride to Leeds. Right. I had heard that. And I said directly to Dan, I would like to be flown directly into Leeds and out of it, because I have a lot of shit going on back home, and you know what shit I'm talking about.
Right.
And it will just save me a lot of like travel woes if that can be done. And what he said to me specifically was, you're being flown directly into Leeds. I didn't realize that there was an airport in Leeds. I got all the rest of our flights into London. So the rest of us are going to have to take a bus to Leeds. And I was like, that's why I'm saying this to you right now. I don't want to take a bus from London to Leeds. Fly me directly into Leeds and fly me right out as close to when I need to be there and as close as when the shows are over and you don't need me anymore.
Right.
But then there was no flight at all.
Yeah.
There wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't
there
even
was
a question of bus or no bus. There was just the plans were set for the rest of the talent.
Well, there were flights. There were flights. I just wasn't included in on them.
Right.
Which is what the subterfuge of
It makes no sense.
It was just so busy. I thought, and I just assumed, and a little bit of that was me too, thinking and assuming. But why wouldn't I?
Right.
But you spoke to the. You spoke to the dude, and you told him, and he said that you're flying. He said you're flying. He confirmed it to you.
His exact words were, "You're flying directly into Leeds," and then he threw his dumbass under the bus. And he said, "I was unaware that there's an airport right in Leeds. I got the rest of our flights into London." So he confirmed that he got the rest of somebody's flights.
Right.
And that somebody ended up being the Kirks, Akira, himself, the Struggles, and whoever took that picture.
So, but
or I don't know if that was a person that may have been Mrs. Struggles. I don't know.
See,
I haven't really talked to
I'm
anyone.
confused now because I've always heard through people I know that the talent needs in ICW, the talent needs to pay for their own flights. So these flights were bought. Is that well? First of all, is that true? Is that not true? I mean, how does it work? It just seems like just a couple of flights. Is that the problem, or is there another thing going on? Because I've been reading and seeing a lot. Like I said, I watched this fucking documentary. I woke up with 50 notifications, Larry. Brian's got a lot to say too. Brian, the passionate, spending money.
I listened to Robert Black's fucking podcast for the first time ever.
What did Robert Black say, Brian?
He's absolutely maniac. He's crazy, but I kind of loved it. His whole show is insane.
Did he know about the flights?
He's like Alex Jones of wrestling, bro.
Yeah, well, let me address what Pat said about how travel in ICW works. You're right, Pat. The expectation is that you just get yourself there however you can, and that involves a network of this guy's driving from Louisville. Can you get in that car? Oh, you're driving through Chicago. Can you pick up Hoodfoot? Or in cases of some folks like myself, just eating it. And Orlando's not an expensive flight. And if I know about it ahead of time, I will do that domestically. And I had done that domestically. This was the second international tour that ICW ever embarked on.
Mm-hmm. And you weren't on the first one either.
I wasn't on the first one either because I had a wedding. But it was my understanding that for the Tour de Australia, Deathmatch Down Under ate all those flights. So why is it different with Rise? And if it is different with Rise, why the fuck aren't you communicating that to someone like me?
The problem definitely seems like communication. But, I remember
I think, but also even beyond that, even before this whole fiasco, were you already drifting out of ICW?
Well, I feel like in a lot of ways I was being pushed out of ICW. And I even think
other people have already been past fuckers.
Exactly. Well, and I almost feel like that Dan's whole charade of calling me the greatest ring announcer that has ever walked the planet before every fucking show, was just as detrimental and made this entire thing that much more impactful. And I almost think that was intentionally done.
Well, to get the hooks in, to be like, hey,
right,
you're my guy. You're my guy because I love you and appreciate you, but you're my guy. Well, and that,
if he was his guy, then he would have been in the fucking UK.
Well, and also, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak out of turn, but it's like I had a brief stint in ring announcing. And Larry, you did a much better job than I did because when you were being treated poorly, you used your excellence, intelligence, and professionalism to find a possibly and probably more loving home. What I do when I'm treated badly is I just stop caring and get more drunk at the show and then get fired. So kudos to you, Larry.
Well, I mean, anywhere I roam is my home. I'm 20 years in.
Anywhere I roam.
And any company that I'm in is my home.
Papa is a Rolling Stone.
Hell fucking yeah. So I wasn't looking. I wasn't searching after making the decision to walk away from ICW. But because I am as respected and beloved as a figure as I am, there were other people that were like, hey, let's move on this to like positively impact our shit.
So what
Because
happened? So walk me through it then. Is it like you just all of a sudden you weren't on the show Saturday night? The one guy Friday night you weren't on the show and you just get the call Friday night right there? And it's like,
Right
hey, we will love you and appreciate you and you will never have to worry about a flight or a thing.
Friday night.
And you'll never...
Friday night. Hold on, Pat, because we only have that much time. Friday night, I was contacted by Rob Black and he just wanted to hear what was going on. Like, I'm hearing a lot of things about you and you're not down there with them in Chattanooga. So what's going on? And I told him. We had about a 45-minute conversation and everything that we're going over right now in detail, he and I talked about. And he gave me his opinion on those things and I gave him my opinions on it. And then he said, well, let's talk again tomorrow.
So
on Rob Black's show, he claims that he's been talking to you. He has talked to you. Not specifically about what, but he's talked to you in the past few months, not just before, like right before. Like so, that's what he claims. That's what Rob Black has claimed.
Well, you know, I'm really good friends with Ron Nemi, who used to be the ICW commentator, and everybody, or maybe everybody doesn't know, I'm pretty close with Schlack. So I will let you both know that both Ron Nemi and Schlack have been touting Larry Legend and what it is that I have to offer and bring to the table to Rob Black from a very long time.
Probably since the beginning.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't listen to Rob Black's show. I definitely haven't spoken to him over months. This all happened very fast. But I can tell you that I know that I have a lot of cheerleaders. I have a lot of cheerleaders and friends.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Yeah, well, he's a big boss. So DJ
he's out of his mind. He's kind of out of his mind, dude. He's like, well,
yo, wait a second. Stop everything. Stop everything. 78-year-old Kevin Gill is actually in the house.
Oh,
he's
Kevin
here.
Gill.
Shout out
he's
OG.
here. OG.
Shout out OG.
Kevin Gill.
OG.
Check your messages, Kevin Gill.
He figured out how to work Wi-Fi at the old folks' home, and he's here right now in the chat.
MYHC.
To have his balls busted.
Brotherhood.
Have his balls
So,
busted.
Larry, I want to ask you.
Let's go. Let's get more serious. Go ahead.
Following, you know, just the trip, and they're back, and now there's this next show, right? So somebody else is taking your place there. Were you approached to come to these shows this weekend and work the shows?
Sure, which I had never been approached to before that. It was always just assumed that I was going to be there.
Right.
But after the UK, motherfuckers knew there was a problem. Oh, it's a problem now. Oh, we better check on Larry. Let's keep calling Larry, making sure he's good. Well, why do you need to do that? Because you know you're fucking wrong.
Right. So you've seen these shows this past weekend. What is your take on not the handling of I'd say the lack of communication between yourself and the lack of the communication between the loyal fan base of ICW?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but did you see the replacement?
Come on, Brian.
I'm sorry.
But not right now.
Brian.
I'm sorry. He couldn't even get in the goddamn ring.
Brian.
I'm sorry.
Let's focus.
I'm sorry.
He's a bully.
I'm sorry.
He's a bully.
So, what is your take on, as you say, the lack of communication between yourself and Danny, and the communication between the loyal fan base, who many should feel like is kept up to date with what's going on with your, not to say your departure, but with what's going on with you, with why you're not there?
I mean, I guess I get what you're saying, Sean, because, you know, when Tremont pulled off the UK, there was like one of those not happening graphics, you know, and I never got one of those. Like,
right. They never
it was just sort of
anything.
like, it was not addressed. No, Larry's not here. You know, I'll wear the t-shirt for a match, and that's Larry in the UK, you know, as well as like, it wasn't addressed that I wasn't going to be in Chattanooga because
we have a scathing comment in the comments here. A $10 comment.
$10. Let's hear it.
Wayne Witowski, he says, all your complaints are about communication issues. Seems like you bounce without much notice or communication. Seems cold. Hope Rob pays you what you agree to.
Well, that's another thing that's annoying me. You know, I've seen on Twitter the other day.
Nice comment, Wayne.
Yeah, thanks, Wayne. Hey, and you know what? Just turns out you're in the lead for the fucking
You're
blood
number
card,
one now,
bitch.
yeah.
Yeah, great. No, but it's true.
Wait, Sean, read Wayne's comment again.
Okay, here we go. Wayne Witowski says, all your complaints are about communication issues. Seems like you bounce without much notice or communication. Seems cold. Hope Rob pays you what you agree to.
Okay, Wayne, I want to address that. There are other things that are my complaints that I felt like I didn't need to go into with whatever I was just addressing that part of the travel issue. But also, there's a particular way that I expect to be spoken to. There's a particular way that I expect to be treated. And several times in the past, because of a friendship that we leant on, there were a lot of things that were said coldly, inappropriately, and just out of line to me. And during this entire fiasco with the travel, there were things that were said to me privately that, I kind of sort of was put into perspective, like what this entire relationship was. And as long as I was benefiting, one person in the relationship, then I'm their guy. But when I become a problem, then it's like, I turn from being the greatest ever to being pathetic, just to give an example. And there's nothing about me that's pathetic. These plaques behind me, they aren't pathetic. They aren't pathetic. They aren't pathetic. But the same person that can go out there for show and be like, my guy, the greatest, now become pathetic because I have an issue with travel. It's called inflammatory language. And again, like I said, I'm not going to go into everything, but I have receipts. And if anybody wants to call me on anything that I'm saying, I have them to give.
So it sounds like to me that you just kind of unhappy with the way that business was being done, and also I just want to
first either, dude. And I hate to keep harping, but Larry is not the first person to ever have to leave this company.
And also, Larry, I want to get to more of your opinion, but I don't want to talk shit. But I'm just saying,
Yeah, we can talk about anything. We got a half an hour.
Thank you, Front Row Central.
Hey, thank you.
Half an hour. I'll talk.
I go longer.
I want to hear as long as you'll go. I want to know. But there was first of all, the first GCW, ICW, co-ran Mania weekend, Danny looked dead in the camera and said, hey, we're coming for you, bitch. And he basically set a line and burnt a bridge.
There was a war.
And he made the war. And what happened then the next night, Moxley showed up at GCW and nobody cared, And then XPW comes around. And I don't know the specifics of what happened. I don't really read the message boards or all these things. But somehow, all of a sudden, there was a war between ICW and XPW. Sounded very similar to the war that Danny created with Brett. And I'm not even saying it's Danny's fault. Brett sounds like...
I think it started with Schlack. The whole thing
right,
was
they were arguing
Schlack.
over Schlack, right?
Schlack was a big thing.
Yeah, Schlack and also John Wayne Murdoch, doing the Southern Destroyer.
But
off the top
I don't
of that
understand
thing,
because John Wayne Murdoch works in GCW, and it's not like Danny blacklisted him from ICW doing that. So it's I don't understand what the exclusive rights were or blah blah blah. But all of a sudden, there's
more
a war.
Than just it's more than that, dude. They just literally don't like each other. If you listen to this motherfucker's show, this guy Robert Black does not like motherfucking Danny DeMonto.
But why? What happened? Did they even know each other?
I'm telling you. I listened to the first Rob Black podcast. I know I said I don't listen to it, but on our way up to Boston, myself, Dr. Redacted, and Cass,
so you lied.
Listened to it.
So you lied.
Well, I lied. Yeah, I lied. I don't listen to it.
Okay.
Okay, well, we listened to that episode because everything about Danny and the beef with him and Rob Black.
You listen to certain shit. Just because you listen to certain shit doesn't mean you listen to the show.
I listened to one episode to find out what this beef was. The beef that Pat is talking about, he doesn't understand where it comes from. I listened to that Rob Black podcast.
So where does it come from then? Is it all over Schlack? The manly man? The gorilla man?
You gotta listen to me first of all.
Okay.
Tell me that it's because Danny is the mayor of Deathmatchville.
Right, he dedicated his whole career to bringing back Deathmatch. I don't know if you heard him.
Not only that, but if you're doing deathmatch shit, like Danny feels that it's his right to check you.
So you gotta. So like basically, if you pull up to a hood and you're like, yo, let me pull up on these homies over here because I gotta check in to make sure I'm good and they know I'm here, type of thing. Like
Pretty
that.
much.
Yeah,
That's
Danny
what-
just moved into the neighborhood, though.
Gang shit.
Exactly. Rob Black's from the Zandig days. He's an OG. He's an OG.
He talks
Okay?
like an OG, dude.
Bro. So Danny was checking Rob Black, and Rob Black was like, "Oh, you want to check me? I'll book your building for the next year." Now
That's
check.
what happened, though.
Now check.
Oh, jeez.
Now check. And then Schlack is off the shows.
Yeah, they argued. It seemed to be arguing over Schlack. And it seems like, for somebody, I don't know, who's all about, because, Brian, you were there with me that first ICW show in Atlantic City. Danny
The
got
drive-in?
Yeah, the deathmatch drive-in. Danny got in the ring, and he said,
That was
show.
2.
well, whatever it was. No, the
It
one
was
in
the first ever drive-in. It was the first ever
Atlantic City,
change.
Yeah.
The first ever
drive-in.
change was the White Eagle Hall
Exactly.
show.
Right, which
Exactly.
I was
I
also
wasn't
at.
there. I wasn't there
Exactly.
for that.
Which I was
My
also
first
at that one.
ICW was legend, but still, dude. Drive-in is
Whoa, Joey Coco.
Joey Coco,
Coco?
my brother.
Coco is checking in with us?
Coco is here.
There's a live.
1999.
There's a
Gotta
live.
head back to work. Love you, Larry. Good luck with
I love you
everything.
back.
And
I
I
love
hope
you
to
back,
see you
Coco.
around somewhere soon.
We'll see each other, bro.
1999, Joey Coco is in the lead,
Joey
ladies and
Coco,
gents.
where's our goddamn cards from ICW? God
Did
damn.
you get? Oh, Joey's waiting on his too.
Dude, we did like a Japanese signing for a few wrestlers.
Mhm.
It was probably like 2 years ago now. But I mean, I will say that that's like a long. It's a hard thing to do. I do fully expect to get my cards from that still, even though, and my Tremont pillow.
Well, those were pre-sold. They're coming.
I pre-ordered that shit.
You probably can pick them up in Boston.
Hey,
Oh, God,
Josh,
I
don't
go
be
in-
sad, man, because as the second place guy, you are in line to receive free shipping.
Darren
by the way.
Drostoff.
The Darren
I will say I got
Drostoff.
ticket.
at this.
The next show that I'm going to is XPW. I'll be there with you on the.
I know you will.
25th. I got
know
a
you
ticket.
will.
Glass in my shoe.
Well,
Pat's
Larry, that's why I
Pat's
wanted.
coming with me. Pat's fucking coming with me.
Yeah, I might come out
You
of the
better.
house. I might
Yeah, come out of
unretire from the house.
Finally.
Unretire from the house.
But that's why I
A
wanted to
rare full bully sighting.
That's why I wanted to
You heard it here first.
full bully
Brian,
sighting.
shut up.
I'm not gonna.
We're gonna be there. I can't wait to buy a MAGA butcher shirt.
Dude,
Well, you could always buy one of my shirts that I was going to sell in the UK.
I don't think
I'll
I've
have
ever
'em.
seen a live Masada match.
Nice. You're in for a treat, my friend.
I'm
Because this
so
is
excited.
this is
Or Drake
post-
Younger. I've never
this
seen
is-
Drake Younger wrestle. I've never
this
seen
is-
Masada wrestle. I've never
yeah.
seen
You're going to
Necro
get to see
Butcher
all the
wrestle.
greats, and you're going to get
Dude.
to hear me
It's
announce
like a goddamn dream. Shut up, Sean.
All right, so let's get into this a little bit more because we got
Yeah.
some time left, and I feel like we've roughly outlined what's going on in life. But what about? So I feel like the first tweet that really sparked the whole controversy, and this led to like an engaged discussion, which Brian loved to throw his hat in the ring. Larry, you were
My
typing
first
out.
ever Twitter
And you know what?
battle.
I take my hat off to you guys because I cannot argue over text message or Twitter. Like I feel like I'm an
I'm a
in-person.
millennial. Millennials love texting.
I could like really, really get you down in person. But over text, it's just like, I don't know.
You lose it.
But you guys were like, but I think the first tweet that started it all was Andy D of the Blvd Boys. Or, I'm sorry, the Bocce Boys.
The Bocce Boys. The
Bocce Boys.
The Boulevard Bully. The Bocce Boys.
They were saying, Andy said, hey, and it was a nice tweet. Like, the guy's a nice guy. He didn't seem like he was taking
It wasn't
sides.
that. I don't think it was
Easily
that nice.
manipulated motherfucker.
He was like, hey,
Money
you may
talks.
have a lot. He was okay,
Money
go ahead.
talks, bro.
He was
No.
like, yeah. You may got a lot of money, but you're not putting on a show like how we did. Was the tweet?
Right, and he also called himself the greatest wrestling weapons creator of all time.
He didn't call himself the greatest. He said
No,
he just
didn't.
basically said, "Don't forget about." He said, "Like, what about us? Are we just nothing?"
What
Yeah, but
about
like
me?
the guy who looks
What
like
about
Necro
Raven?
Butcher is obviously
Hey,
the greatest.
To give them credit, they do put in fucking work, dude. Bocce boys put in work. They
Everybody
might be
puts
easily
in work.
manipulated, as Mittens
Everybody
is.
puts in work.
Whoa, Brian, whoa, Brian.
Mittens puts in more work than motherfucking most people in the world. But that doesn't mean he's not easily manipulated.
Well, I mean, it sounds like there's a little bit of a cultish activity going on here where it's like, hey, Mittens, want to sweep the ring? Yeah, just fly yourselves out to the thing. You know?
And you know what? I'm gonna make a graphic.
You're a great
I'm
fan.
gonna make a whole UK graphic.
I depend on you, buddy. I really depend on you, buddy. Hey, we couldn't do it without you, man. Hey, I hope you're going to book that flight to Chattanooga next week because
and
I don't know what I would do without you.
And what happens when Mittens can't? And it's like, my friend.
Here's the guy that can't get in the ring.
How could you do this to me?
Brian,
You're my
please,
friend.
will you please, Brian? That was a doorway issue, not a physical issue. Okay?
It was a physical issue, and it's clear because
No,
he was
Brian,
in the pit
no.
because there was no fucking need to fucking get.
What was the individual's name?
Just stop it, Brian.
Don't
what
ask me.
their-
I'm going to say something mean.
Did you enjoy the shows, Brian?
The wrestlers, the talent is always talented. The talent is always dope, bro. You can't knock the fucking show because they're awesome. I love those people.
Yeah.
They're my
So,
people.
anyway,
I want to scream at them.
The guy from the Bocce Boys said that, hey, you know, it's all
Money talk,
money
bullshit
talks.
walks, man.
Right. So I can't
Yeah.
blame somebody for going to get the bag, but, you know, blah, 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 this and that.
What bag?
Did you do it for money, Larry?
What bag?
Did
I
you
don't
get-
even know about a bag.
Did they
What bag?
outbid?
Did I just explain to you how fast this happened? Okay, it happened, you know, very fast, and I like Ron and Schlack. So the idea of me being with them and Drake, who I haven't been with
And
in
Chad.
years,
Chad's a fucking awesome dude. Just like
and Chad,
he's so
and
fucking
and
friendly.
hold on, and Masada,
Dude,
and Necro.
I have a
and
Masada murder weapon in my house
Bro,
Brian,
so-
that he made for me.
Brian,
There's
please.
We've showed it on the show before. Shut your mouths.
with your pink hat.
I'm sorry.
There's so many talented guys over there and so many people that are really going to embrace me. And that's what I'm talking about feeling good about this decision. Like, I feel good about it because, you know, it's a whole better environment already from off of the rip that I don't even need to discuss a bag. I don't got to discuss a bag. You know what I bring to the table? Look on the flyer.
So you
Fucking
and
facts.
Rob didn't discuss money at all.
No need to.
It's just a gentleman's talk.
Rob, I
Oh.
feel like Rob understands what he has to pay his performers. Motherfucking ICW, I'm gonna tell you this difference. A ticket for ICW and GA is like $25. If you want to go to XPW for GA, it's $65. That's around three times the price. So they're charging people more money and paying their talent what they deserve. And Danny is having these guys that love deathmatch come and wrestle for him for peanuts.
Couldn't do
because
it
they
without
love
you.
it.
We couldn't exist without
Breaks
you.
me
Thank you.
tight. It's a frustrating thing. It's a very frustrating thing. Don't laugh, Sean. It's not funny.
I'm laughing at Bald Steve. I love when Brian stands up for something, including himself.
Larry,
Justice for Brian.
I'm with you.
Yeah, that's
Gotta
right,
do it.
Brian. You got to stand up for yourself.
So and then there
That's
was
what
a
I
whole-
did. I stood up for myself, and now I'm gone. Now I'm gone.
We have a question here. Larry tweeted that he wasn't allowed to sell merch at the shows.
Yeah.
Was
What was that about?
was that implied? What was that about? What's going on with that? Let's break down some
Well,
of these
you know
tweets.
the latest edition of the best-selling "It's About to Go Down" Larry Legend signature tee has a logo of a rival company on the back of it. You know, the
DXS.
last one the last one that I'm ever going to release of that design is a special limited edition purple one because, you know, I'm from Baltimore where the Baltimore Ravens play. Their color is purple, and I also rep VXS. Well,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know how well that sits with, you know, the promoter of ICW that I'm selling my likeness on a shirt that reps that brand. And I feel like that ever since I got the VXS shirts, it's been harder.
So
It's been
that's
harder
so
for me
would
to
you-
find.
Could that have been the start of the downfall of the whole trust and friendship between you both?
Well, I just think that again, as long as I'm benefiting him as a friend, then I'm his guy. But if I'm trying to do something to benefit myself or make it easier on myself,
You're a
then
scumbag.
I'm a problem. Like, how could you do this?
You're
like,
fake.
I've done
You're
so
fake
much.
as fuck, Larry. You're a sellout.
Yeah, yeah.
You're a goddamn sellout.
And I'm pathetic.
I hate it. It makes me so tight.
Well, talk to me about the toxicity. Did somebody go into your bag?
So no one went into my bag, but
Made a tweet. There was a tweet. I definitely remember.
I saw a tweet like that. I'm scrolling right now.
yeah. No one went into my bag.
I want to cover
things
everything. 88
You're a
viewers.
professional tweeter.
88 viewers.
Tweeter.
Thank you so much. Please subscribe.
Good.
Tune in next
88.
week. Hey, 88.
You better.
88, that shit
Guys,
is great.
fucking better.
Do it.
Fucking my bag was not gone into, but my bag was handled several times. My bag was handled several times by the packing princess and almost became a professional troll of hers to find some way to put her hands on my possessions and move them. Not
Only
necessarily
specifically yours.
Not
Only yours.
Not necessarily out of her way, not necessarily closer to me. Just in some way, shape, or form, she would find ways to put her hands on my bag and move it. And there was a time in Chattanooga that I blew up at her where I said, we have to share this space. And for some reason, you always find a way to show me that I'm in the way. Well, now I'm not in the way anymore. And she is specifically who I was referencing when I was talking about my things being handled. I come from an era where you don't touch anybody else's stuff in the back.
No, you ask whose it is.
The era that I come from, if you're seen handling someone's possessions, you could have your fucking hands broken.
Facts.
But for whatever reason, because I guess she's the packing princess and has some sort of power in the company, she always would let me know that I was in her way.
It was a power thing, an egotistical power thing.
It was a body language thing. We have to share the space. We have to share the tables. I don't give a fuck that you're getting everyone to sign these goddamn posters or whatever. I'm over here too. And bitch, I've got years on this goddamn shit. So you're going to fucking respect me. I don't give a fuck.
Facts.
Don't touch my shit.
You know, I feel like...
To answer your question, Pat, it's not about money.
No,
Right.
No, it doesn't have a goddamn thing to do about fucking money. I'm paid. It didn't have to do about money with the travel to the UK. But why the fuck are you going to tell me the Monday before we have to go?
Who the fuck does that, dude? What?
A fucking charlatan. That's what 88 people are on here to hear? A fucking charlatan.
Completely unprofessional.
Keep going.
And you don't call the fucking best in the world the best in the world and then treat them like that.
Facts, bro. What else needs to be fucking said?
Nothing.
So yeah, I addressed Andy D's tweet. I did not go for no fucking money. And yes, the environment there from some is toxic. And one of the most toxic things that I experienced the past couple times is my shit for some reason being in the fucking way.
It's out of control. A talent shit shouldn't be in the way of anything. Like, you shouldn't touch people's shit. You should be more cognizant to treat people the right way.
So one thing that you must understand is that a lot of the times our backstage areas are very much tight quarters. We're like right up on each other.
Right.
So we have to share the space. And we do most of the time with one another. Unless someone is selectively being bullied.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, and also it sounds like, and that's why I wanted to dabble and dip our toes into your beginnings, because how many times does maybe a new ring announcer come in and, or a new person come in, and in wrestling, it's all about time and respect and, what do you call it, seniority.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And listen, I'll say that it's not about money, but you look around and you see the people who have less time than you getting paid or getting respect. And,
it's a respect issue.
But a little bit of money might, it's like, hey, you can either act like a dick and pay me, or you can, not pay me and treat me well. But I won't do both.
Exactly.
Why should you have to? Why should that even like that? If someone is regarding you as someone that is the best at what he does, then you don't treat them
Well, but
like
Brian,
they aren't.
that's just a promo, Brian. That's just a promo.
Exactly.
That's just a promo, dude.
That's the point.
This is all hullabaloo. It's
Yo,
all
because and let me tell you,
there.
actually, you know what?
The whole thing is fake.
Larry
It's a whole-
yelled.
it's a
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That shit kind of like fucked me.
Right.
I'm like,
And let me
don't
tell you
need
something.
to come out here every time and say that shit.
Larry yelled, and now
Oh,
I'm going to
cool.
yell. And let me tell you something. The only reason that started to be a thing is because you have one of the least cool people in the entire world standing next to one of the fucking coolest and most respected. Dude, when Larry was ring announcing in CZW death matches and going to fucking Tournament of Death, Danny DeManto wasn't even doing death matches.
Right.
He wasn't even anywhere close to death matches. And even that one CZW Tournament Death he did, that was still years after Larry was in the game doing his thing. And Danny DeManto stands in the ring and puts his foot on the front of the boat, crossing the goddamn Delaware, saying he's gonna save deathmatch wrestling. He's always the only thing he's ever wanted to do is promote and you know, hey, I love the people I love, and it's all about NYHC family. It's all about family, dude. You know, Brian, you've been
It's
in
all
this
about
scene.
family. Mittens, go get my bag.
Yeah, hey, grab these things for me. I couldn't do it without you, bud.
Exactly.
You know, and
it's
and so,
transparent.
and listen, and hey, but it's like, so when he hands, in my opinion, and listen, Brian, you're a passionate fan. I want to hear a little bit about your struggles that you had on Twitter, but also, and I want Larry to comment on them, but also, you know, I think that handing of the mic, I've always thought it from the very beginning, was like, if Larry came out and did the show and introduced the show, everyone would go nuts, right? So if I came out and introduced the show, it would be lame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce Larry, and I'm going to act like I fucking gave birth to this man. And I'm going to say that this man is my guy, and this is my best friend, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, okay, you don't think you have a friend in the business and Larry betrayed you? Well, if you don't think you have any friends, maybe stop acting like an asshole.
Yo, Robert Black doesn't give a shit if he has no friends.
Robert
Black. I think he just, Pat, I'm going to be honest, I think he likes him because his last name is Black.
Loves people that hate him.
Who,
Ryan Black, Robert Black.
He wants everybody to hate.
Negro.
You just bro. I love it.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
Larry, am I way off? Was my head up my ass by saying stuff
No,
like
I
that?
think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong.
I don't think I think you hit the nail right on the head, and you said it the way that Pat says things.
No, I completely.
You know.
So Brian, what the fuck were you doing? You like came out of your
Yeah,
grave.
you jumped in that. You jumped
The
in.
struggles wasn't calling Larry a sellout. He was blaming everything upon miscommunication.
Well, that's what somebody with Stockholm syndrome would do, though. You know, they would protect their abuser.
I will say, I'm gonna say from this moment, I fuck with struggles. I don't have any ill thoughts.
So you
towards the
basically
boy.
you started a Twitter beef with struggles, then you
I was
settled
not
it, and now you're friends.
Real quick.
It wasn't a beef. You just
Wasn't a
said
beef.
some shit.
He
let
said
me
some
jump
shit,
on
and
this real
I
quick.
told him that was just a tip of the iceberg.
Go ahead, Sean.
I genuinely feel bad for him because he means well.
Yeah,
Struggles.
he's caught.
He legit means
right
well.
in
He's a good dude.
Also,
And-
he was also his wife. You know, it was actually between he and his wife.
They're lovely people. They're
And
lovely.
it's like-
well, he jumped in there and it stood up for his you know.
His boy, the same way we would stand up for Larry. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, I genuinely feel bad because he's legit the thing that's caught between the rock and the hard place. And it's like, this guy didn't do nothing wrong, but it's like words are being bounced off. And as a man, I'm not going to sit there and let somebody like,
Right.
Happy
You know what I'm
wife,
saying?
happy life, brother.
and I get it. You know what I'm
Larry's
saying?
and
it
Brian's
just-
yelling at him on Twitter.
and it
I'm not
sucks.
yelling. We were having a conversation.
It
man.
became a heated.
I mean, that's the way that
Twitter
it's
conversation.
read.
Yeah,
it's
they were
read
fucking-
that way, Bri.
Yeah, and
You guys were motherfucker.
Yeah.
See, I can't do
Well,
that. I don't have that
I
energy.
didn't curse. I didn't curse at the
I know you
boy.
didn't, but I'm saying like that is the fucking subtext.
I don't think.
Of, like,
I think Struggles appreciates Boulevard Bullies, as Denny DeMonto has only ever put Boulevard Bullies down.
No,
Dude,
listen.
okay. Let me get something off my goddamn chest.
Oh, Brian's yelling now.
Shut up, Sean. What? I'm sorry.
everybody wants to be a bully.
Dude, I've
Everybody wants to
supported
yell.
that company. I've loved that shit since I went to those chains and I yelled at Eddie Kingston and I threw my little chair in the ring. I've supported and I fucking bought shit. I
That's
fucking
right,
try to
Brian.
go when I
You
go.
have spent a lot of money to
Dude,
support.
I
have
talk to Danny.
stocks and bonds.
Danny will talk shit and I'll laugh and I'll say whatever, dude. We still support you, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like talk shit, ha ha ha. I still fuck with you.
But listen,
But
this
You
is where
do
this is-
stupid shit and then you fucking turn people away from your shit because they see what the truth is.
and that's my point right there, Brian. And I want to piggyback off of that. You turn people away. What
Go ahead,
that just did was turn two people who are business partners. We just went to see you at ETU, at his show, right?
Yeah.
So now you and him are like two magnets, frictioning
Two
away from
ships.
each other,
Yeah.
and it's unnecessary. Because both you guys contribute to the great sport that we all love.
You guys
and
are great
92
fans.
People in here love is professional wrestling, and what you guys do is provide a service to the fans, to the people, to come back hungry each time, wanting more.
Wanting so
And
much
what
more.
happens? What happens? You have people, passionate fans like Brian, who sees his buddy being pummeled in the corner. Is like, you know what? I can't take this no more. I have to say something. And let's be honest, is it necessary? No.
No, it's definitely not.
Larry, there's nothing wrong here. There's clearly a communication issue. And you know what? I think as grown fucking men, grab your fucking nuts, man the fuck up, and move on.
That's a terrible
Sean
idea.
understands me. See, I told Sean to shut up before. I redact that. I doctor redact that.
But it just, that's what it comes down to. As grown men, we out here to survive, we out here to eat, and we out here to provide for our families if we have to.
We're
And if
grown ass
anything else-
motherfucking men, bro. We're not
Anything else
spring
that's
chickens.
going on besides that, you know what it is? It's malarkey.
Speak for yourselves.
All
I'm not a
fucking
grown
malarkey.
ass man. I'm a guy just like making all these.
It legit
You're a
is.
Things and
75-year-old Patrick.
I'm just 63-year-old Patrick.
I mean-
doing this thing. You know,
I mean, Sean, you're talking like some real like street. It's a real like street like, yo, we men, you know, let's chop it up. This is pro wrestling, you know, and that means that there's a lot of like, and like, you know what I mean? There's a
Fake
lot
shit.
of
I
like,
know, I know.
yes, like it's like
Telephone.
so, it's a lot to like ask motherfuckers to man up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like handle this shit like men. Because a lot of them really don't carry it like men.
but I feel like a lot of them who would cut a
Well
promo
said, Larry.
like Sean to say something about grabbing the plums. You know, like, I'm just saying.
But like what Larry said, it comes down to some like street thing. And like for me, that's what it comes down to everything. If you need a job, what are you gonna do? You're gonna let the guy who's in front of you get that job? No. You're gonna do everything you can in your
You're going to
power
feed
to
your
get the
motherfucking
job.
mouth and your family.
You're gonna
Right.
feed your mouth. Like Larry.
Right.
Larry's a ring announcer. You think he's gonna let that deter him from what he has to do? No, and capital
I got-
N-O. Look at how
I got
many
mad
tweets
shit
he
to
got.
do. I got
Look
mad
at-
shit to do.
Look at that.
Interesting.
Look
Yeah.
at it. That's all
I
it's
got-
about.
Yeah, I got a lot to do. And you know what? I will say this much, Sean, from what you're saying about like handling shit like a man, like talking to Rob Black was very much like, this is how this is.
That's it.
And this is how we're gonna right. Like it was no like, I love you.
I'm
No.
scared.
I
I'm
want-
scared,
I want-
I'm scared
I
to
want-
meet Rob Black. I
But
feel
that's
like
what
he's an intimidating
everybody
guy.
thinks. That's what everybody thinks, and that's what all these tweets and these comments come down to. He did it for the money. He did it because of this. He did it because of that. No. This is what happened, and this is the truth coming from the man himself. And you know what? There's
Yeah, why
always two
would
sides.
I lie? Why would I fucking,
Exactly.
you know?
You know what I'm saying? There's two sides of the story. One person's gonna say one thing, another person's gonna say something, and guess what? You do what's in your power to be like, you know what? This makes sense, and this is the issue. So when you can come to that, It's all sunny, shiny days moving forward.
Sunny,
Facts.
shiny days. So if you have questions for Larry for the next few minutes,
Yeah,
$10.
Speak of the
Yeah.
devil, dude. Speak of the devil.
if you have questions, Larry, do you feel like staying around for another 5 to 10 minutes to answer some questions? Because I
Let's
feel like
go.
I want to get. I still feel
fucking go.
a little empty. I want more depth
I know,
to the story.
I know. It's a lot.
You know,
There's a
are
lot.
we asking the right questions? I wonder. So I just figure we still got
Wayne-
like 90 viewers. We might as well.
He just complimented this interview. He complimented us.
We might as well
Wayne,
stay.
I compliment your comment from earlier.
He just look great interview. Thanks, guys. Hope whatever happens, Larry finds happiness.
Brian, I
Greatest
can't hear
announcer
you.
of
I
all
can't hear
time.
you. I can't hear you. The
Fine.
AOL sound's going off. I'm sorry. It was
Sorry.
We're getting more money.
going off. Great interview. Thanks, guys. Hope whatever happens, Larry finds happiness. Greatest announcer of all time, no matter where he is. In the end, support Deathmatch Wrestling. Yo, I couldn't agree more. In the end, support
Thank you.
Deathmatch
Exactly.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
Support,
Watch ICW, watch GCW, watch BJW, watch it all.
Watch your favorites.
support
Watch your favorite
artists.
deathmatch
Support
wrestling.
That's
people
all it's
doing
about,
art.
as the artists. Yeah.
So people
Facts.
caring about things. Support people making little barbed wire frames around their guests on the show, and maybe
So
send
don't
some.
let politics deter you from watching your
Well,
favorite
and that's another thing
talents.
too. And dude, there are two things that I hate, and I hate people who say I love you a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like
I know
a
exactly what you're
wrestling
saying. I
like a
love you.
wrestling friend who will be like
I love you, brother.
say I love you is like somebody to watch out for. Number one, I just feel like, and number two, this guy Wayne, and I'm sure he means it completely, like as a shoot brother. He's like, I hope Larry finds happiness in whatever he's doing. But I saw that Struggles tweeted that, and that fucking annoyed me. Just because I think that that's another thing that fucking
Passive aggressive.
selfish people say, like to let themselves off the I hope you find happiness in whatever you're doing, bro. You know what? It's like, who's really genuinely happy and confident? Dumb people. You know what I'm saying? Like smart people want to move
Ignorant
around.
motherfuckers.
Smart people have, and it's like, it's really hard to moonlight, as some of the legends would say. It's really hard to moonlight in a ridiculous, oiled up fucking bikini sport, And especially and it's like, okay, hey, listen, I'm breaking into business. I understand. Everyone's taking it very, very seriously. Okay, I get that. But, like, you don't have to be an asshole about it. It's like, okay, we're all relatively serious here, And I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that somebody would say, oh, well, I'm happy. I hope that you find happy. It's like a fucking HR
Like
thing.
a breakup.
Yeah, best of luck in your future endeavors. You're an indie god.
Yeah.
Or
Or someone says, be blessed.
oh yeah, stay blessed.
Yeah.
Shut up. How about that? Shut up. How about it's like, and also that's another thing, Larry. It's like, I'm 37, you're 41, but because of the internet and wrestling's lack of the ability to keep up with social media, basically what happened is there was this gold rush of all these fans who were good at social media who didn't know anything about wrestling, but wrestling didn't know anything about social media. So around 2015, 2016, all these social media people came into wrestling, and now they're in the business. And myself is one of them. 2016. When did Struggles
True.
podcast start? 2015.
Social
16?
media ambassadors.
Yo, and that guy graduated
Yeah.
college. He knows how to run a business much better than I do. So he did much better for himself.
You graduated
But-
from the School of Hard Knocks.
But anyway, thank you, Larry.
Facts.
But
That's
anyway, what
right.
I'm saying is that just because you've been in the business 3 years, 4 years, and you gained 3,000 followers for your promotion, or you like fucking jerked off at home long enough to actually learn how to do this, and somebody with really low standards let you do it for free, that doesn't mean that you tell Larry Legend what to do or have an opinion about the business that Larry Legend even conducts. You don't even have a business. And if Larry Legend's boss is listening to those people over Larry Legend, that's a problem. That's my fucking opinion about
And that's
it.
and you know something, that was well said. And Sean, that goes right back to what you're saying about the friction that has now been created between two guys like myself and Struggles that don't want to do anything but collab and make great wrestling by this leader or so-called leader that I really feel is no more than a poison for like the entire industry, not just ICW, but like the entire fucking wrestling world. And that's why Rob Black is on his ass.
I feel it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anybody? Questions?
Yeah,
Anybody?
I'm looking at it. I'm
Questions?
trying to see. Hell yeah, Struggles Solo Joe videos on IWTV. What does that mean, Solo Joe? To jerk off? Is Struggles jerking off on IWTV in a private?
No, Struggles.
Oh,
doesn't
maybe
do
it's him in the Kirk.
inappropriate
Maybe it's him in the Kirk show.
Hey, you know what? But at the end of the day, support Deathmatch Wrestling. Take care of
That's right.
yourselves and each other. But first and foremost, fuck all of our ex-friends, ex-partners, ex-companies, former trusted companions. You know, some people take the high road. Everyone here on this show says, go to hell and die. And if you have any questions, type them up on Twitter and shove them up your ass. Because that's what we're doing. We're grown men. We do a YouTube show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Larry, let's talk about where you're going to be, because it's not only the XPW, it's actually a minor shift. That's just a minor shift. You're just moving from one overrated company to the next. What about the other companies that you're working for? Because we're seeing you everywhere.
It's everywhere, dude.
Well, the aforementioned VXS, the last Larry Legend, it's about to go down t-shirt Isaac and Orlando were like, absolutely, Larry, whatever you want to do. You want to put our logo on a shirt? Do it. Sell them.
You're talking about Mike Orlando, the Green Machine. It's Isaac and the Green Machine, Mike Orlando, right? They run a company together, VXS.
Ali Rex's husband has not been seen in ages.
No, Booker T put him over. You didn't hear about this?
What?
Mike Orlando went down to Houston to train at Booker T's wrestling thing.
The reality of wrestling?
And Booker T loves Mike Orlando, dude. Mike Orlando he's doing a whole new life for himself. Working at Booker T's school, working some shows.
Wow.
Running VXS with Isaac. It's awesome.
No, he's not.
It's not that. That's not.
This is a different Orlando, but they are the Hefes, if you will, of VXS. So I got them out in LA, and then I got Sage Sen's promotion, Crimson Crown Wrestling. I'm going to debut for them the next day. And then I got Rick Cataldo's A Matter of Pride, Sailor Moon Rave on Friday night. And that goes from like 10 to 6 a.m. I cannot do New Fear City because I already agreed to do the Cataldo show. But, right. Cass and them wanted me to do the New Fear City. I'm not even going to give a spoiler away what their main event is, but I wish I was announcing it. And then, of course, there's No Peace Underground out there, but I think their show is Saturday, and I'll be gone by then.
Larry has to do what he has to do, plain and simple. Wish you the best, man. In the end, you have to put yourself first and make a living and work at a place you don't hate. Hell yeah.
That's facts.
Hell yeah, Eric. Way to go,
I like
man.
that.
Good take.
Brian, do that again, Brian.
Do you like that, Sean?
Dude, I do like that. I do like that a lot.
We need more comments like that then.
Larry, do you have a funny Danny Havoc story?
Funny Danny Havoc story. Yeah. One time at the Nichols, which is a bar down the street and around the corner from the CZW arena. It was after a Cage of Death, and there was this like little bathroom, and I saw Danny Havoc and Brain Damage like kind of shuffling to get in there, and I went in right after them. And at first, Brain Damage turned around and looked at me, and he was like making a face like, "Get the fuck out of here." But Danny Havoc was like, "No, he's cool." And Brain Damage was like, "You cool?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm good." And he was like, "All right, we're gonna hit this shit." And I was like, okay. And Danny Havoc was like, "Do you want any?" And I'm like, "Sure, I'll take a hit." And he's like, "Do you know what it is?" And before I could say anything, it was like, "You don't care what it is." And he like pretty much handed me the $1 to snort whatever the fuck it was that I did. and we bonded that night. Shortly after, then Marvin, Brain Damage, started referring to me as his bitch.
Nice.
And this was not a toxic work environment.
Interesting stuff. You got No Man's Land this Friday. You're working hard.
No Man's Land. If it bleeds.
That's
if it
H2O?
bleeds. That's right.
H2O. Yep.
That's the Kevin Hogan Memorial Hall.
Hell yeah.
A lot of people don't realize the H2O academy is the Kevin Hogan Memorial Hall.
That's right, rubber chicken guy.
That's right. Whack Packer Hogan.
You also tweeted how Danny doesn't give Cass a chance, and it took Cass so long to get over. He only puts certain people over. You have to be in his good graces. But that's the thing. I think everyone's surprised. It's because all of that mic passing, all of that squatting, and all of that talking, it seemed like you were the safe one. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah, a guy like Cass had to get insulted and ripped to shreds and pay his own way to do jobs and bleed. And then finally, it's like, hey, when I need you, I love you. And if not, it's like a group text about how fuck this guy. But it seemed like Larry was safe from that.
Yeah, well, I guess I kind of got like, to put it all in a nutshell, the entire fucking exit was I was fabed on travel. I was kayfabed on the travel to the UK. And I think that even though it was clear that there was a communication with a certain group of individuals and I was kept out of that because Dan and I were such good friends, because we were such good friends,
best bros,
I wasn't going to let my friend down, even though I fucked up and I was pathetic for waiting this long to get my flight. Somehow, some way, I was going to get there for my friend.
Wow. Hey, couldn't do it without you, buddy.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it without you.
They're going to do it without me forever.
Woo. Hey, you want to answer a tough question, Larry?
Sure.
Now, feel free. You could Tony Khan me here. You could say, hey, really can't talk about that. That's up to my agent and between me and God. But I heard from a certain promoter's podcast that after Larry fulfills his current bookings, the only place you'll see him is in XPW, unless certain bookings are agreed upon. Kind of like Schlack's situation.
Well, I guess I got to do what the boss says.
Woo!
So I guess
will you be here? Will you be here on this show every Tuesday?
Do you have to okay with Rob Black to be on this show?
I guess I'll have to check with Mr. Negro as soon as Senor Negro.
Do we have to hit him? Do we have to hit him up and send him like a resume and shit?
I don't think he has a problem with me appearing on the Blvd Bullies podcast. How many we got?
Well, maybe you can introduce him to us when we go support.
I thought you met him at the big event.
Well, I didn't get a chance to go.
Oh, Sean was intimidated. Sean was intimidated.
Larry,
Robert Black sounds like a very intimidating man.
You didn't have your Chelsea boots on.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. It was raining, so I had to keep the sweet baby boys away.
I know that's right.
You didn't have the Chelsea boots. So,
I'd hope you introduce us to Mr. Roberto Negro.
Of course.
We'll visit you and support you at the Hart Ballroom.
So
you guys understand?
New Jersey.
You understand? I'm gonna be getting to know Senor Negro.
Negro.
Yeah. So I gotta. Yeah. But
so
if y'all are in the building, I'm sure I would be able to facilitate a meeting.
I want to tell you,
but
Larry.
not necessarily a greeting.
Right.
So Larry,
I understand that.
I'm so happy that we were able to do this show, and I'm so happy for your new beginning. And what it sounds like, aside from a few chirp tweeters, sounds like most of the people, up to 95 on this current show, all came here to see you and to support you. And you know what? There weren't many questions other than wishing you the best. Just understanding.
That's what I said at the very beginning. I'm sorry to cut you off. That has been the best. Nobody cares why all the scuttlebutt that we talked about. Everyone has just been like supportive of me to keep doing what I'm doing and to fucking keep crushing it.
Well, the only ones who were,
baby. You know that.
And I will. I have no choice.
That's it.
You have no choice.
I'm Larry Legend. I have no choice. I gotta win the Price is Right. I gotta be in the Hall of Fame. I gotta fucking do this shit.
And the only people who seem to be chirping are the ones who are under the spell and the Stockholm syndromers. And most of the people understand that, hey,
coincidence.
We could all live together harmoniously.
Yeah, well, there is no war. There is no war. There's no war. We all are working together in this big thing called Deathmatch.
Well, actually, I saved this till the end because I wanted to say that we are now enemies, Larry. Because, a little bit about me. This time last year, there was no lead for Larry at No Peace or No Fear City right? There was no need for Larry at the Psycho Circus. Last year, I was maybe more than last year, I was the new Fierce City announcer. It's like every place I get fired, you replace me, right? Except for Sean, who also.
I guess what you're saying is you're gonna be the new No Holds Barred announcer.
Well, no, but no. But what I'm saying is that like I was laying in bed one night, I was thinking, man, my ring announcing career's over. You know, just like Larry, I was disenchanted and I was disenfranchised. But instead of being professional and finding greener pastures, I just got drunk and stopped caring about doing the shows until I got fired. Right. So I said to myself, you know what? Schlack's a friend. I'm going to call Schlack. This is a true story. A month ago,
you called me.
A month ago, I called you after, and
Yeah.
I texted the group, and I was like, "Yo, here's the idea." And I called Schlack, and I was like, "Hey, I was thinking about it, and everybody in wrestling hates me, and you know who really hates me is Danny DeManta. Really hates me. So I just feel like Schlack, if you could introduce me to Rob, I could like." Use the Danny hate to parlay that into maybe like doing some stuff and helping out, maybe becoming the ring announcer. And Schlack was like, yeah, show up on March 22nd or March 25th. Yeah, whatever it is. Oh. But now that's all a moot point because Larry is the ring announcer and he's going to be on all the shows moving forward. So my only hope is to now be your administrative assistant, Larry.
Oh, Pat, I'll hook it up. As much, of course. If you mean you were lined up for March 25th in Newark?
No, I was not lined up.
Guys,
no,
hold on, real quick. Okay, so there was a day that we all spoke, right?
What a twist!
Larry, you told me you spoke to Schlack. Pat, you told me.
Yo, Sean, we both spoke to Schlack on the same day.
So I'm like, oh my God, do I tell them that they both spoke to Schlack about the exact same thing?
Oh my gosh. Well, like father, like son.
We were both, yeah, you are my wrestling dad. And I was just on a piece of wood seeking refuge. Swimming towards Rob Black's welcoming arms.
We'll get you in there.
And I was like, listen, hey, Schlack, like I got to be honest with you, I'm never welcome back in any of the promotions I've ever worked for, but I've learned from my mistakes, and those people suck anyway. I think I should meet Rob. I could be like the ring announcer of the misbegotten toys or whatever,
The thick wall.
Yeah, but now, hey, don't need that. You got Larry now, so whatever. I'm gonna coordinate Larry's interviews. Ship out merch, administratively insist.
Pat, we'll get you all set up.
That's the only reason we invited you here, is just so that I could confront you about this, Larry.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
No, I'm sorry.
I didn't know.
No.
I didn't know.
I was just like, hey, there's only one last Hall of Fame that I could possibly be inducted into, and that's the XPW Hall of Fame. But now Larry's there. He's a first ballot XPW Hall of Famer just instantly from this buzz.
Now,
you never know. You never know, Pat. Other Hall of Fames may pop up. There may be a new Fierce City Hall of Fame.
The only Hall of Fame I'll be inducted to is the Alcohol of Shame fame on the Wall of Shame. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Pat. I didn't know that you talked to Schlack.
No, I mean I don't care. I wasn't gonna.
You were fishing.
I was just fishing.
You're out fishing.
I was just casting a line, and like you said, like
the
father, like son.
Bullies will most definitely be in attendance.
Oh, we will
on the 25th. Full fucking force. So it's going to be an interesting time.
XPW, get ready because you just got the best ring announcer in the game. You just got the loudest, most obnoxious,
my kids,
most obnoxious card collector in the game, who will literally scream horrible things at the shows louder than anybody else. And you think I'm talking about myself? No. It's my son, Brian.
Yes. Yes. Release
and me, just me. I'm a Buddhist now. You see how I conducted this show? I just tried to keep my opinions to myself. It's all peace and love. I'm just responding to Larry's emails.
I bring out the demons.
Maybe I could.
Indeed, you do.
Maybe if I work hard and put my head down and like save my money from my shoot job, I could become the Mittens of XPW.
Easily manipulated.
No, I meant like I'll sweep up this stuff and maybe do like.
And on that note,
No, I would say I would rather you follow in my footsteps, which means I need you on Let's Make a Deal. I need you on Let's Make a Deal, and I need you to represent the bullies up there.
You know what, Larry? I will dedicate my life to studying the complexities of.
You know, Patrick. What am I always telling you? You know what to do. You know what to do, Pat. You don't need to study a goddamn thing. Just get up there with Wayne Brady and that other guy and do it.
Oh boy, Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady got a choke a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the button.
How much donation did we get?
Dude, we did.
I'd say $31.
We might have gotten more than $31.
I like that.
And you know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to calculate who the winner of the blood card, the
Joey
Janela
Coco.
I think it was
Coco
Coco.
with the 1999.
Yes, sir.
Coco throws that card down.
Dude,
Danny
Coco
knows.
always be throwing it down.
And
I
then,
know
of
too.
course,
I've
the
seen
second place,
Yeah.
second place amount, we'll get this Darren
Ponytailless.
Ponytailless, yeah,
Dravska.
Ponytailless Darren Dravska. But look at those back muscles, Darren Droznov.
We still have 64 motherfuckers in here since fucking
Yeah, so what should we?
7
They
p.m.
dropped
But I'm-
off, yeah.
Dude, there's still 64 motherfuckers.
What should we
That's
talk
a lot.
about?
That's a lot more than we normally have.
You just want to
Yeah.
talk shit about Danny until we all fall asleep together?
Well, wait a minute. Aren't we supposed to like also cover wrestling? Like, isn't there
Oh.
like wrestling? Like,
Was it important this week?
I mean, the only thing that I can think of is Bray Wyatt no showing Madison Square Garden.
Sean, what are you eating?
Nothing.
Chips.
Are you eating chips?
No, I have no chips in front of me. I'm actually
Ooh.
staying away from the potato chips.
All right, Brian.
good man.
Yo, I
So, yeah,
ate.
Bray's gone.
Bray, apparently, he had a complete mental breakdown or something.
Oh, a CMB?
He had a CMB, dude.
CMB.
No.
Not a
He went
CMB.
full CMB.
Yo, he did a
So from what I-
CMB.
No, dude.
A CMB at
Because Brock
MSG.
wouldn't work with him. Because Brock
I
wouldn't
don't
work
know.
with him,
I
right?
think that he might have whatever all like the backlash of the fans not being down with his
Uncle
movement.
Howdy.
I don't know what happened. I don't. Pat thinks that it's just work. Pat was here before. He said he might be a work. That
I
he
said,
that
well,
Bray
that's
Wyatt's
his
gonna
last
show up.
hope. His last hope is that
It's
they
over.
both didn't show up.
Dude, if he's gone, it's like the worst comeback ever.
It's over, bro.
It
It's
is
been over.
definitely the worst comeback
Worse than
ever.
CM Punk, because CM Punk at least had a few good matches, but then he like fucked it up.
Wow,
But it's worse.
Bray.
It's worse.
That's
than CM
I didn't
Punk.
know that's what I knew that he wasn't there, but I didn't know a CMB.
Yeah, this flopped big time.
He did the
From what I'm
CMB
hearing,
at MSG.
He
I think
walked
it's still.
into
I
the
think it's
garden.
still unknown. I think it's still unknown.
I think it's a whole creative thing, and I think it's the way they introduce Howdy, the way he's being used on TV now. He walks into the garden. There's a creative issue. I'm assuming it's because another lights out match with the
And
same-
he just fell out.
he's over it. And it's
Oh,
like,
so
hey,
you
I
think he
wanna do
showed up?
this.
You think he
Yeah,
actually
did
showed
show
up?
From
You
what I
know he
heard,
was there. He
showed
was
up.
there. He was tight.
He showed up and he left, and I'm pretty sure it's creative. It's like you go there with the intention of having your character portrayed in one way. Now, when the wheel starts moving, now you're going left when you wanted to go right. You know what I'm saying?
A
So
classic
it's like
case.
where do they put him now? It's like the last time he was at Mania, he opened the show with Randy. Lights are all red. He has not had a regular wrestling match in how long?
Ever.
You
He
know what I'm
hasn't had
saying?
one in years.
And
As a
he's your
performer,
favorite.
that's demising. It's like, am I not worth the time and effort?
Am
to
I
show-
even a wrestler?
Am I even a wrestler? At this point?
Yeah, like,
So it's like at that point, I'm walking out too. It's like, screw this, I'm over this. Like,
There
why
has
do I
to
have to
be-
wrestle in the garden in the dark?
But
Like,
do you
what?
think it's
Like,
is it on the
what?
co- is it on the company that he hasn't wrestled? Do you think it has been his decision to stay out of the ring like he has
No,
been?
I think he's a baby boy. I think he's
They
a little
also
baby
told
boy.
him
very-
about
it's
the
very
fact that
strange.
he's
It's
been
very
wearing
strange.
a knee brace for quite some time, and
Very
they're worried
strange.
about him going out there and working a certain way and injuring himself. So it's like they
you know,
don't
I
see
But
think
him
why
as
even
a
bring him
over.
back then? Why even
because
bring
he's
him
not
back
a
if he's
wrestler. He's just a character.
they don't want him on AEW wrestling.
It's like he's better. It's better to keep. Cheap, what do they call them? Cheaper to keep him. One of those
Yep,
situations.
yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Or like what they do with some guys. I call it put him on ice.
Yeah, he's on nice.
Yeah,
He's
just
been
give this guy busy work. Give this guy busy work. He'll keep selling the shirts. But
Yeah.
we ain't doing shit. We ain't doing shit with him.
Well, I mean,
He
I
was
think...
he was on the cutting edge. He was on the
Jesus
cutting edge
Christ,
of
Brian.
creativity.
Well, you know what
Dude,
happens, Brian.
that was
when you
dope
take
shit.
Brian, when it was the Wyatt family.
Dude, that's to this day, that's still my favorite shit, dude.
And you know what happened,
Dude.
Brian?
Him, Eric Rowan, and fucking Luke Harper
he
are
got put
my
on
fucking
ice.
favorites.
He got put on ice. They put him in the freezer. They took him out. He thawed.
Right.
They let him work for a little bit. He got put on ice again, taken out again. What happens when you keep doing that? The meat gets bad.
Yes. Yes.
Rotten.
Yeah.
It
Great
becomes
analogy.
rotten. Do not
So
want
you're
Yeah.
saying Bray Wyatt's a rotten piece of meat?
His,
The luster. The
That's
luster
gone.
is so
It is-
gone.
It
Yeah.
is gone, brother. It is gone. The ship has set and sailed. I think
my
With-
Bray Wyatt ship finally sailed.
Your ship has sailed as well, Brian.
Hey,
And
hey,
just
can I
get on
can
out
I-
of there? Go ahead.
Can I
bro.
ask, did anyone see anything out of GCW in Quebec?
I did, dude. The production and the sound from that Canadian
So
company might be the best wrestling show I've seen in independent show since. I mean, HOG does very well too. Have you seen an HOG show?
Indeed.
Yes.
Their production's pretty on point. It was similar to that. The crowd was huge though. Their crowd was lit and the production was on point.
Well, very similar to HOG, this show was done in a theater. HOG does their shows at Amazura Concert Hall, where
Right.
they have live concerts take there. So it's like they
So the
have
rigs,
that.
the rigs are
Mhm.
already up to make it look like
Mhm.
you're at a fucking deal.
Right.
Exactly.
This was more like a Hammerstein ballroom kind of deal,
hmm
like with the balconies and shit.
It looked incredible. It was a
It was-
sold out crowd.
So Nick Gage fought. It was a good match? It was the main event?
It was
Six
bloody.
man,
It was
right?
bloody and disgusting. The owner of that company is insane. What is his name? Like PCP Mike or
Yep.
something?
PCP man.
Oh, is this the guy who got his
PCP
like
Manning.
ear ripped off?
Dude, his whole back was ripped to shreds.
Well, what about his ear?
He
Did
fell
his
from the balcony, and then at the end of the match, his ear got like chopped, like Mick Foley.
Wow.
it had to be sewn back on his skull?
I don't know. I don't know if that's all true.
I'll tell
don't
you
know
this
the full
much. I'll tell you
facts.
one thing that I saw that was interesting is that MLJ and their announcer were splitting the duties.
That's pretty cool, right?
That's awesome. That's what should have happened in the UK.
Yeah,
The announcer from ICW,
it was smart.
the announcer from Rise, they both split the duties.
So how did they
Dude,
do
the
that?
guy-
Did
the-
one guy announce only his people, and the other people announce GCW people?
That's
Yeah.
what I've done that before. I mean, have I done that before? No, I haven't done that exact thing before, but I think that adds to it.
It shows the
Also-
collaborative effort that's being
was-
done
it-
between both companies.
And they tried to like simultaneously come in and out of the ring together. They did like the step out. And
That's
like the,
awesome.
Yeah, it was
That's
cool.
fucking awesome. You know, like
A little
that's the
synchronized
type of
swimming.
a little
That's the type of
synchronized
thing-
swimming, right?
that's the type of thing that you want to pay attention to.
Right.
Yep.
One of the guys
agree,
was in a
Larry.
full tuxedo, and the other guy was
He
wearing
made fucking.
Osiris
Oh my
D3s.
god. He got booed. He
And
tried.
boot- he has like
MLJ
boot cut
tried
jeans.
to-
He's got his like
his intro,
Jankos on.
He tried to intro in Canadian, and the crowd no-sold him.
He tried to in French.
He tried. Yeah,
In
I'm sorry,
Canadian.
I'm sorry, I said Canadian. I meant
Come on,
French.
Brian.
I'm sorry. I drank a bottle of fucking Shiraz.
Yeah.
Of her ass?
Shiraz.
What are you
Ah.
saying,
Oh.
Brian?
Shiraz.
You drinking
Sweet
ass?
Shiraz.
Oh, jam jar?
God damn. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
delicious. But
Jam
that's why I
Quentin
said-
Tarantino.
in French, he tried to get over and speak French, but the crowd no-sold him.
So the
And
main
fuck-
event was Rena Yameshita, Mance Warner, and Nick Gage versus Sexy Eddie.
Friend of the
Man-
Bull.
Manny, who I guess is the owner of that, and Green Phantom.
Sexy
Green
Paul
Phantom.
Phantom, who was
Somebody-
supposed to come to ICW No Holds Barred for the Chicago show and then got pulled.
Is
Yeah,
Sexy
he's,
Eddie in the CZW Hall of Fame?
No, he is
Yeah.
not, but he will be.
He
He's
better
not?
be. He fucking
Sexy
better
Eddie's
be.
not in the Hall
I
of
thought
Fame
he
yet.
was. I thought he was.
Maybe he is. I don't
Dude,
think
Sexy
so. Though.
Eddie put a light tube inside of his little trunks, and Rena fucking smashed them.
With a skateboard, right?
Oh god! At first she hit him and they didn't break, and then she put a skateboard on top of them and smashed the skateboard onto them.
Well, you said Rena Yameshita.
Yeah.
And Rena Yameshita just so happens to be one of PWJ Card's very own. And talking about PWJ Cards, for your super chat, which Joey Coco is up $20 right now, you can
Nice
grab
bumper.
yourself a blood print Joey Janela card. You can check our website right now to see how much that's going for
Neither of these cards. Neither of
and
these.
how much you can win it for. So these cards are examples of what exactly a blood card is. You can get it at pwjcards.com.
Matt Tremont uses pinky toe.
Great bumper, Sean.
Thanks, bro.
So what else is there? Larry Legend. Larry Legend meets Soul Taker.
I can't
Larry,
wait for
are you
that.
excited to
for
meet
that.
and work with Soul Taker?
I am very excited to meet Soul Taker, but I wish that I could announce him as his former name.
Maybe we can work
Bring it back,
something
Larry.
out.
Bring it back, Larry.
I would love having.
It's done.
If anybody can bring it back, fucking Larry Legend can bring it back.
Oh, dude, I'll never forget the first show that they did in Newark where there was a fan screaming it, and
Well, that's different. That's different.
there was another fan there. He's just new, like one of those casual fans. It's like, oh, wrestling. Okay, let's go check it out. So he's sitting there with his lady and stuff like that, and he's a colored man, and he hears the old name of Soul Taker being chanted very heavily with a deep like, ugh! And he got up, and it just so happens that this guy was like a jujitsu master. My brother, Pork Chop Express, actually found the guy's Instagram. Yeah, I was like, wow, if this dude really like wanted to, he could have like killed him.
There's a reel. We have a reel of it.
Yeah, it was wild. Yes, we do. It's on our page.
There's a video of the guy getting up from his seat and standing right in the guy's face and telling him to shut the fuck up.
Well, Larry, you know what? Hey, listen, that's the kind of environment that you're gonna be working in. You know, you're gonna have to bring the people.
I've been at worse. Yep. I'm
You-
old school CZW. I'm old school
crowds.
CZW, bro.
There's nothing like
Come
old
on.
school crowds, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
one.
Also, real quick, I gotta just
The
say,
crowd. I'm
10%.
sorry to cut you off, Larry. But
Oh,
the
double
crowd
cut.
is not the locker room. So the guy screaming in the crowd like a fucking buffoon is
Was a
not
fan.
on the fucking locker room.
No, not at all.
Good-
Yeah,
excellent
I'm at 10%.
analysis, Brian.
I'm at 10% bad take.
Well, you know, actually, one of the first CZW shows I ever went to at 2300, I swear to God, we paid for second row tickets and there were no second row seats. You know, like even though you pay for the second row, it's a free for all. And we finally found seats, and the guys next to us were like, you know, what would you call them? They were like from Temple University, you know.
Okay.
And then there were like a few kids from like Swanson who like walked in and were like, these are our seats. And the kids were like, no, they're not. These are ours. They're like, no, these are ours now. And those guys with their sweaters from Temple University, they just left. They just walked out of those seats. These guys came in with like hoodies and were like, these are our fucking seats. Get the fuck, what the fuck? They were like, sorry. And they just left. It was awesome. It's great. This is a hard knocks life is what I'm saying.
That's why you graduated.
Life.
That's why you graduated from the School of Hard Knocks. I just got a text from Emil, and I'm at 10%. So I hate to give us the
Tell
hook.
him the
but can we
Blvd Bullies say hello.
I will.
Jesus. All right. Well, to the three of you, thank you so much for this show. Thank you to everybody who watched. I hope we shed some light on the goings on of wrestling, independent wrestling, you know, the way things work, the way things might not work.
The way they should work.
One thing we've learned is that communication is key.
Yeah.
Sean, what have you learned? Oh, I'm sorry. Larry, go ahead, Larry.
You got to communicate. Communicate. Communication is essential and critical to your continued success.
Agreed, Larry. I think communication is key in everything that you find pivotal in your life. If this is something you truly care about and it really resonates with who you are as an individual, then you give it a go, and you always go, and you make sure that you communicate everything that has to go with your workers.
Brian, what do you have to say for yourself?
Here we go.
My final words of the night will
Here we
be:
go.
you don't call someone the best in the world and then treat them like second-rate SARS.
SARS.
Stars. I'm sorry.
Stars. Okay.
SARS.
Well, SARS or
Very bad.
stars. Yeah.
Second stars.
So thank you so much. Please do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the comment, like, subscribe, all the stuff. You got to understand, it's a very big thrill for us. This is our third episode with Larry Legend, and he draws 70 people to a YouTube show in the corner of the world.
94 at one point.
94 at one
I
point.
wish we could have cracked 100.
Well,
Let's
maybe
do it
next time.
week.
Maybe next
Let's do
week.
it next week.
Come back. That's the goal.
We do giveaways. We do all the things.
Crack 100, and I'll give away something from my little station here. And I got a ton of shit. I got all types of shit.
Yo, that's that Andre thing right there.
That's the Andre obituary. I got
You're getting
Boss
your
man,
making shots. Making shots.
Oh my God, we got a sniper here.
A sniper,
As we're
dude!
signing off, $21.
I'm gonna rip the bong to that, brother.
Come
How
back
much?
every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Larry, do you think Rob Black's going to let you be on this show every week?
I think that Senor Negro is going to allow it.
I
We'll
thought
talk.
Mr. Chad Mid said that he wants to get other XPW stars on the show.
There you see. There you have it. You're in there like swimwear, kid. What'd I tell you?
Hey, thank you
Yeah,
so
we gotta
much
see
for
if Chad
watching.
Mid comes through with the truth.
And most importantly,
Oh, he's an honest man. He's
I
an
guess.
honest fucking man.
take care of yourselves
And each other, baby.
and each other.
Hit that,
And
hit that,
until
hit
next
that.
time.
Hit that,
41
hit
down.
that, hit
Send
that.
us your address. We need your address.
Yeah,
41
DM
down.
us if you've donated.
Coco as well. Coco
yeah,
is
send
second
us your
place.
address.
Coco second place with the draws figure, and Mr. 41 down with the Joey Janela PWJ blood print card.
I hope you don't
Yo,
mind your
go the
bone crunching
fuck
action
off.
smelling like a little marijuana.
Go grab that Nick Gage card,
Yo, hit that fucking
pwjcards.com.
theme. Hit that theme,
Word
Pat.
up.
You ready?
Word
You
up.
know what, Larry?
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
gonna
16 shirt,
I'm gonna screen share with you right now
so I can hear it.
with
Sweet.
audio,
Let's go.
so that when I hit it, you can rock out and we can all rock out together.
Bum, 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 bum.
Thank you
bum,
so
I
bum,
know.
much.
I can't wait either. I can't wait either.
bum.
Yes, at the end of every show, we always rock out. All right, I'm muting you guys. We're preparing for the song. And until next time, thank you. Follow Blvd Bullies. Out of time. Bye-bye. Oh, wait, should we start it over? Hold on. Watch this. We'll go like this. Hold on. Hold on. I fucked it up. No, you don't want that. You don't want... You guys don't understand. You don't want it. You think you want it that way, but you want it from the very beginning with just the slight beginnings, the creepy beginning. Yeah. All right. You guys are all muted. They can't even hear what you've been saying this whole time. I'm just preparing for the song. Out of time. Bye.